That's your Fox Business Report. I'm with Ribarski, invested in you.
When I started skiing, I didn't think about setting any records. When I won my first race, I didn't think about how many more I might win. So when I made it to the top of the world, it never crossed my mind to stop. Being the best isn't the same as being your best. There are no shortcuts to the top, so find the people who help get you there. I'm Michaela Schifrin, and that's what Team Stiefel means to me. If you're an advisor or an investor, choose Stiefel, where success meets success.
Stiefel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Past performance is no indication of future results. Investing involves risk. Consult a financial advisor before making any investment decisions.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Another teenager fell victim to fake pills. Smells like big crime that needs to be stopped. Where are these pills coming from? And how are kids getting them? Right from under our noses, crooks are targeting kids on social media and selling them counterfeit pills that could seal their fate with a click of a button. It may seem harmless. Maybe it doesn't even seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. So before buying pills online, think about this. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Think these pills are tested and safe? Think they're the same ones you get from a doctor? You know they're not. Did you know that many fake pills contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal? Listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real. Brought to you by USPTO and the National Crime Prevention Council.
Hey, welcome everybody. Jeff Nolan from the second floor here at 4th and Court, here at the studios in Reading, as we get you ready for a big Division I basketball matchup, boys action. It's originating from Muhlenberg High School, the Reading Red Knights, and Muhlenberg. We are getting things hooked up radio-wise. Our free YouTube feed is on our sports channel at 8:30 WEEU Sports. Bob McCool, along with Richard Scarcella, have the call of that game that is coming up in just a little bit. Part of our sports night here that originated with a slice of sports right into basketball here. And then Matt Knob and I will cap it off after the game up until 10 o'clock with all the scores and all the highlights as well. And Matt, second meeting of the year between these two teams. And the first time it was a Muhlenberg win. But, well, what happens tonight, we'll find out shortly as we get ready to send you out to Muhlenberg for high school boys action.
This is a special presentation of high school basketball on WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond.
Savage Auto Group, RE/MAX Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis, Keith HVAC, Redner's Warehouse Market, Tiefenbach Snacks, Habitat for Humanity Restore, Chick-fil-A, UECU, Overhead Door of Reading, Spots Insurance, Coon Funeral Home, Susan McFadden of Keller Williams Platinum Realty, Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf, Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society, Brad Coley, Goosehead Insurance, Huber's Auto Group, Financial Planning Advisors, Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, Pizza Como, Reading Fightin' Phil's, and Celebration Villa of Exeter.
Now for all the action, let's go courtside with Bob McCool and Rich Scarcella.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another night of high school basketball here at WEU. Division I matchup between the Reading Red Knights and the Muhlenberg Muhls. Monday night, we gave you the other half, the top teams in Division I, with the matchup with Berks Catholic beating Wilson. Tonight, it's the other two, and that's Reading High and Muhlenberg, right in the thick of everything in Division I of the Berks Boys Conference. Red Knights are 12-5 overall. They are 6-2 in Division I. And the Muhlenberg Muhls right now tied with the Saints of Berks Catholic at 7-1. Muhlenberg is 14-3 overall. It is the Red Knights, it's the Muhls, it's our high school basketball game tonight on WEU, presented by Savage Auto Group. And it not only is it on the radio, but you can watch the game tonight and all the way through our Berks County basketball playoff coverage, as well as our Creek-based playoff coverage as well on our YouTube channel. It's a free video stream on our channel, which is 830 WEEU Sports. Tonight's pregame show presented by Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf comes your way next from Laureldale on WEEU.
Hi, I'm Mike Kuhn with Kuhn Funeral Homes. Since 1937, our family has been committed to serving our community. We now have 3 active generations, as I have the honor of working with my father and son. With 5 convenient locations to serve our neighbors, Kuhn Funeral Homes continues to dedicate our family to your family. Thank you for believing in us, and we promise to always be there for you.
Hey, Berks County, Chick-fil-A Catering makes game day even better. Choose from a variety of trays, including Chick-fil-A nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate chunk cookies. Perfect for your next gathering. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling ahead and pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate and enjoy the perfect spread with Chick-fil-A Catering. Availability and order requirements vary. See restaurant for details.
Noisy, squeaky, or uneven garage doors? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening or closing? Get a garage door tune-up now from Overhead Door Reading. For just $99, we'll inspect, lubricate, and adjust your garage doors so they run smoothly and quietly. Don't get stuck in the driveway this winter. Call today and ask for our tune-up special. Serving the community since 1965. Overhead Door Reading. We're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338. Tonight's pregame show is brought to you by Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf, just up the street from where we are right now. Fuel up for their game day with delicious burgers, hot dogs, fried chicken, barbecue sandwiches, french fries, and, of course, ice cream. May not be miniature golf season yet, but it's not that far down the road, but they have themselves a 27-hole miniature golf course at Shell's. Visit them on the 5th Street Highway in Temple. Alongside Rich Garcella, my name is Bob McCool at a sold-out Muhlenberg High School gymnasium as the Mules get set to take on Reading High tonight. The Red Knights right very much in the thick of things with the return of Rick Perez back to the Red Knights as the head coach, but Rich will go back to that night at the Geigel earlier in December. We were there. Reading High had themselves a 10-point lead at halftime, 40-35. Muhlenberg came out with the first 15 points of the third quarter, and in the end, it quite simply was a game that the Red Knights let them get away from.
Yeah, Muhlenberg dominated inside, took control of the game in the third quarter, used its physicality to overwhelm Reading. Reading made a run in the fourth quarter, made it a very close game, ended up losing by 3, but Muhlenberg's third quarter play that night was the difference, and it's something that Rick has talked about with us a little while ago about how important it is to be as physical as the Mules tonight.
Well, the thing that Rick Perez has talked to us about on a number of occasions is, his words as long as he's been at Reading High, which is now in his 13th season, he's always talked about culture and making these kids understand what was needed, what he expected from them, and what he was going to get back from them in return, and ultimately trying to make them understand what they needed to do to compete at the level in which the Reading High and the Reading High faithful expect them to be. And that's right where they are. Again, right in the middle of everything. Red Knights lost early. They lost to Muhlenberg. They lost to Wilson. Then they got it figured out in a big win over Berks Catholic. They beat Governor Mifflin the other night, 66-57. So they're 2-2 in the division, and they've taken care of business in a crossover with wins over Exeter, Twin Valley, Conroe Weiser, and Daniel Boone. So this is, again, you're starting to get into the rematches now in Division One, but time is getting short. But the Red Knights are, I would think, in a lot of ways, where they want to be in terms of growth and getting better. And Rick Perez is starting to get a little bit of better idea of what the cards are in his hand.
Yeah, Rick felt like even when we had that first game, that was the first time we had seen Reading this season against Muhlenberg. Felt like there was a long way to go in terms of learning about these kids, dealing with their emotions, knowing what buttons to push. It took some time, but he feels now things are clicking, things are heading in the right direction. Since losing 3 straight to Muhlenberg, Hazleton, and Wilson in December, the Red Knights are 9-2, and they have some impressive wins, including the other night against CB West. They've also beaten Cheltenham. They've beaten William Penn, York High. They're playing very, very well, and he expects the same tonight against the Mules.
And they are a young basketball team, but he knew he had Wesley Rosario, a senior point guard. He knew what he had in Justin DeCastro, a young man who can score with the basketball, and he's averaging over 21 points per game. It'll be a race between DeCastro and Kingston McCoy as to who's going to lead Berks County in scoring for the most part, although Mason Sennett at Fleetwood's having himself a monster season as well. But there's 2 10th graders in the mix that maybe not everybody knew going into this season as to what they might be able to expect. One has been starting from the beginning. That's Cameron Jones. His scoring averages starting to climb as he's looking to become a little bit more on the offensive side. And then there's Javon Merriweather, who started out very well, then got hurt, missed a couple of games, was in concussion protocol, missed a couple games. He has been back, and they have been bringing him off the bench ever since. But he's averaging 13.5 points per game. He can shoot the three. He's got some length. He's 6'2", but yet again, just a sophomore.
He's extremely consistent. He's had at least 8 points in every game he's played. That tells you something about the maturity of him as a sophomore. Just a tremendous presence on the court. And then you didn't even mention the sophomore who has suddenly showed up the last 3-4 games, and that's Raven Rubio, who's playing right now in front of us in the JV game, just made a foul shot. Rick Perez said he had his eye on him. He was dealing with a short bench back in December. We saw it. He can only go 2 deep on the bench, go a 7-man rotation. He feels like he could go 9 or 10 now with the addition of Raven Rubio, who's averaging almost 7 points a game in the 4 games he's played. He said he's learning, he's adjusting. This is the makings of a really, really nice team down the road because he's playing 3 sophomores in Merriweather, Cameron Jones, and Rubio. And then you also have the 2 juniors in Justin DeCastro and Jameer Jacob. So Rick Perez, no surprise, is building something at Reading. And this year, it's not like this is a rebuilding year because there is no such thing at the Castle on the Hill.
That's all very valid point.
Right. They're 12-5, and they're right now 5th in the PIAA District 3 6A power rankings. They're going to make the playoffs after failing to make districts for the first time in ages last year. So everything is going in the right direction, but Rick Perez would like nothing more than to solidify the Red Knights' position in the district playoffs and in the county playoffs tonight with the win over the first-place Mules.
And they also have a very impressive loss, if you want to call it that. No, they won't look at it that way, but they took Central York to overtime. They lost to Central York 85-76 in overtime. Of course, Central York beat Reading High a couple years ago in a state semifinal and then won the state championship. And there's obviously a lot of pedigree with the Panthers in terms of how good they are and have been. So that's a big battle for Reading High to go toe-to-toe with Central York, who is among the elite teams in District 3 in Class 6A. So Reading High has always tested itself in its non-league schedule, getting itself ready for that postseason run. Red Knights are in prime position for that, but they certainly want to improve their lot in Division 1 as well. Again, Muhlenberg and Berks Catholic with just 1 loss so far in the division. Reading High with 2 losses in the division. Wilson, after their loss to Berks Catholic on Monday night here at WEEU, now has 3 losses. So they're very much all in the thick of things with another round against everybody going forward now. This is the second round getting started tonight. Wilson has an interesting one tonight. They are in Exeter to take on Rifton. That's a big game for both of those 2 teams as well. So a lot still to be unfurled over the course of the next couple of weeks because that's all that's left. Just a couple of weeks left in the regular season to figure out. Not only, I think we can pretty much tell you in terms of where these teams are going to be in the Berks County playoffs. The question is going to be what they ultimately get seeded, what the matchups are going to be in terms of how the playoffs shake out. They've been talking about it for a couple of weeks amongst themselves, but the reality is it's getting that much closer with Reading High and Muhlenberg, both Berks County playoff contenders and District 3 6A playoff contenders as well. We're talking a little bit about the hometown Mules when we come back to Laureldale after this, live on WEEU in Reading.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's Kettle Chips. Legend has it, Mark Diefenbach loved kettle-cooked chips so much, he turned his Berks County kitchen into the ultimate snack factory. Now, over 60 years later, we're still making that delicious PA-crafted crunch with the same passion and quality right where it all began. So crunch into some flavorful Diefenbach's kettle chips today and snack on a delicious tradition.
Looking for the best pizza in Berks? Come to Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, located along Richmond Street in Reading. Whether grabbing a pie to share before the game, getting delivery for the team, or you're looking for a real Italian dining experience in a grotto-style restaurant, put Nino's on the top of your roster. As the official pizza of WEEU's Slice of Sports, Nino's knows how to feed athletes and the rest of your crew. Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, 515 Richmond Street. Call 610-921-2300 or visit ninosristorante.com.
UECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business, and we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all, from residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
Welcome back to Lauderdale. Again, alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. Our Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf pregame show continues, getting you set for Reading High and Muhlenberg. JV game still going on here in Muhlenberg, with the Red Knights on top in that game by a schoolboy 19-point difference. And we're about a little less than 3 minutes left to go in the JV game. So we will continue with our pregame show while the JV game finishes up. And we'll talk now about the Muhlenberg Muhls, who I think, Rich, this is weird to me, but I think it's the reality. And it's one of the reasons why I asked Matt Flowers the question about whether or not if his team realizes how good they are. Because I don't know that everybody realizes that Muhlenberg is 7-1, tied for first with Berks Catholic in the Division I standings. And more importantly, in a lot of ways, they're 14-3 and very much at the top of the District 3 6A standings. I don't know that if you took a poll of most Berks County basketball fans, they would realize how good Muhlenberg has played through 17 games this season.
Well, we've seen them, I think, 4 times. This is the 5th time, and we know how good they are. They have 3 outstanding scores, but you're right, Bob. They have wins over Reading, Wilson, Central Dauphin, one of the 6A contenders in the top 5 in 6A in District 3. Allentown Allen was the top 6A team in District 11. And then Methacton, which is the number 1 ranked team in 6A in District 1. That's an impressive list. The Mules' only losses have been to Chester, Berks Catholic, and York Suburban. York Suburban, a sneaky 5A team in District 3. It's an impressive record. And Matt Flowers, in talking to us, we were kind of mentioning down the road, and he said, no, all I'm thinking about is Reading High tonight. But really, tonight with a win sets up a showdown with Berks Catholic next Thursday for the Division I championship at Wolf Gymnasium, and really solidifies Muhlenberg's spot as one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the district in 6A.
And, of course, if you don't know the backstory between Matt Flowers and Rick Perez, they grew up together. They coached together. Matt Flowers was Rick Perez's assistant at Reading High for 10 years, ultimately made the decision to come here to come back to his alma mater and coach Muhlenberg. This is his 5th season here. And then last season, Rick Perez had made the decision to step away, was Matt Flowers' assistant coach last year, and ultimately, or 2 years ago, and then ultimately the decision to go back to Reading High when Reading High opened up the position as the head coach. Rick Perez felt obligated to go back to Reading High and take over that job. So they know each other inside and out. And one of the things that they both will preach on a regular basis is playing for 32 minutes. It sounds simple, but for these 2 teams, it's a very much of a mindset to go hard for 32 minutes. If you need a breather, we'll give you a breather. but I expect that you're going to give me 32 minutes of basketball. Not 30, not 29, not 31 and a half, but 32 minutes. And I think that first game kind of summed it up. Rick Perez said, we won the first and second quarter. We won the fourth quarter. We lost the third quarter. And they did. And as a byproduct of that, they lost the basketball game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Bob, this is my fourth season doing games with you. And that's what I think I marvel at the most is how Muhlenberg and Reading play. They play from start to finish and don't give their opponents a second to relax. You can't relax against them because if you relax on offense, they're stealing the ball. If you relax on defense, they're running past you in transition. It's a credit to both of those guys, Matt Flowers and Rick Perez, the way these two teams play. I enjoy watching them because they are in your face constantly. You have to be at your peak performance to play against either team, and that's what makes this rivalry so good. Solid. The emotions are really important. Matt Flowers is talking about emotional intelligence with his kids. Rick talked about how the emotions that the Red Knights are handling their emotions better. This is a very, very emotional game because these kids all know each other. The coaching staffs know each other. And that's why what makes the rivalry so special.
And just to throw a little more kindling on the fire, not that it needed any,
Correct.
but the added aspect of this, and speaking of those kids who know each other so well, is Nelson Malave, who played in the JVs last year for Reading, maybe saw some time on the varsity, average about 5 points per game. He comes here to Muhlenberg. He's been a regular piece of the puzzle for Matt Flowers as a junior. He's been a starter since the beginning of the game. The game we did last week against Exeter, he was our player of the game, but he dropped 24 points, one shy of his career high. So Nelson Malave, who played at Reading and now is playing for Muhlenberg, you asked him about what it's been like for him coming here in the post-game interview, and he just has embraced being a Muhlenberg Mule. And obviously it'll be a very emotional night tonight for Nelson Malave. But you're talking about a young man who's averaging just about 12 points per game and a big cog in the Muhlenberg wheel.
Yeah, he not only scored 24 against Exeter last week, in the first meeting against Berks Catholic, and it was an off night for all the other Mules, he had 25. That's his season high. That's his career high. Malave has added a different look, a different feel to the Mules offense. And teaming with Eli Hemmings and Justin Armstrong, those three are as good as any three players in the county, maybe the best trio of players in the county. They can all score, they can shoot, they can defend. Malave really kind of was the icing on the cake for the Mules. The other guy you didn't mention, the connection, Rick Perez is the coach of Reading. His son Jaden is a senior at Muhlenberg, comes off the bench. He's averaging 5.5 points a game. He has another son, Khalid, who was playing in the JV game. He's not anymore. Who's a sophomore at Muhlenberg. So a lot of connections between these two schools and these two programs.
And then let's talk about a couple of the players you just mentioned, and that's the two juniors, Eli Hemmings and Justin Armstrong. And when we talk about Muhlenberg in terms of players 1 through 5, they might be as good as anybody in the county, if not better than anybody in the county, 1 through 5, because they have a lot of components. And those two, Hemmings and Armstrong, are two of the big pieces of the puzzle. Hemmings at 6'4", Armstrong listed at 5'10", but he thinks he's 6'10". He's got the guts of a cat burglar, backs down from no one, but he's a scrappy player, but he's a scorer. And Eli Hemmings, we've talked about this skill set for Eli Hemmings is as good as just about anybody in the county. And Eli Hemmings, as he gets more and more comfortable and more confident, is going to be a player who is going to be an all-county level player this year, and he's only a junior.
Yeah, we had talked the first time we had Muhlenberg Reading in December that Eli doesn't quite understand how good he can be. Well, I think he's starting to realize how good he can be. He scored career-high 30 points against Hempfield. He's been over 20 points 7 times in the Mules 17 games. I think he's as good a scorer as there is in the county. I know Kingston McCoy, I know Justin DeCastro, but Hemmings could score inside and outside. And then you talk about Armstrong. You're right, Bob. He is fearless, absolutely fearless, has no regard for his body or for his opponent's body. He will go inside against the biggest player, the most physical player. It doesn't matter. He's just a lot of fun to watch. He's got to play. He got a little bit out of control against Exeter, lost his poise for a little bit, but regained it. He is somebody to watch tonight. He scored 24 against Boone, 20 against Allen, and he's only had 2 games under 9 points all year.
And then the 2 guys we haven't talked about in the starting lineup are the 2 guys that Matt Flowers would probably want to lead with when you talk about Muhlenberg.
Absolutely.
And that's 2 seniors, his 2 starting seniors, Michael Miller, Jeff Colato, both football players, played for Rob Flowers, Matt's brother, who is the head football coach here at Muhlenberg. Michael Miller just committed to Clarion to continue playing football. And I asked Matt Flowers how much of a difference that makes, because I know, talking with Rob over the course of football season, that Rob felt that it was a little bit of a different mindset with Michael because of that was hanging over his head. Like he knew he wanted to play football at the next level, but never was quite sure, am I a Division I kid? Am I an FCS kid? Where do I fit in? Well, now he knows. He's a Division II kid. He's going to Clarion. His future's in football. But Matt Flowers will tell you he is their best athlete, and he didn't play any basketball with them over the summer or even the fall. But as soon as football season ended, he walked right into the gym, and he took over the gym.
Yeah, when I asked Matt tonight, I said, Mikey's only averaging, 6.5 points a game. He had 16, a season-high 16 in their opener, and he's only had 4 games in double figures since. And he said to me, he is our most consistent player. He's our vocal leader. He does everything well. He's a glue guy. Basically, that's who he is. He is a glue guy. Matt said he didn't play with us all during that time until after football. Came to practice, stepped right in, knew everything, handles everything well. Very, very important part of the Mules' success.
And then the aspect that Colato gives them is that physicality, because let's face it, there's going to be whistles in this game. There's going to be yelling. There's going to be screaming. It's a sold-out gym. It's a high-intensity level game. There's going to be physicality on the floor between these 2 teams. That is a 100% given. So having a Jeffrey Colato in the mix of all of that for Muhlenberg gives them something from a physicality standpoint that Reading High does not.
Yeah, Reading has a lot of athletes, but they don't have a post player, a true post player who's extremely strong. They can run, they can jump, they can guard. But Jeffrey Colato, we have seen him. If you leave him, if you don't box out on the defensive end, he's going to get offensive rebounds and he's going to put them back. He's very strong. He's very powerful around the basket. And he's somebody to watch tonight for the Mules.
We're going to take a quick timeout with our Shell's Restaurant Dairy Swell Miniature Golf pregame show. When we get back, we'll have Rich's keys to the game, our starting lineups, and a whole lot more when we get back to Laureldale live on WEEU. Reading High, Muhlenberg going after one another tonight here on WEEU.
Let Redner's take care of cooking with our chef-prepared meals available in all of our stores. Crafted by our executive chef, Redner's has you covered for every mealtime, featuring all your favorites like shepherd's pie, beef burgundy, mango salmon, and more. Got a special event? Let Redner's provide your party with everything you need with restaurant-quality items at a fraction of the cost. Plus, with our rotating menu of seasonal meals, you'll always find something new with our chef-prepared meals. Check out the menu at the market or order online at rednersmarkets.com.
Spots Insurance Group is a proud sponsor of Berks County Sports. We're an award-winning nationwide agency you can trust, insuring what means most to you for over 32 years. We specialize in auto, home, renters, business, and life insurance. Remember, when you think insurance, think Spots. Visit us at spotsforinsurance.com. That's SPOTTS, 4, insurance.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to our Shell's Restaurant Dairy Swell Miniature Golf pregame show, getting you set for Muhlenberg and Reading High. Just as a heads up, here is our schedule on paper for next week. Because I don't know if you heard about this or not, but there might be some interval that may somehow or another mess this up. But this is what we're planning on doing. Starting on Monday night, Berks Girls League matchup, Governor Mifflin at Wilson on Monday night. That's the battle, the showdown in the top of Division I. Wilson won the first matchup. That's the only loss for Governor Mifflin. so far in Berks League play. We'll have that one for you on Monday night, pending what happens on the weather forecast. Tuesday, we're at Lloyd Wolf Gymnasium for the Saints and the Red Knights. That's an early start. JVs are starting at 5 on that one. We will be on video only at the start of that game on Tuesday night. Reading High at Berks Catholic. And then Friday night, we're back in West Lawn for Reading High and Wilson in round 2 for those 2 matchups. Again, that's the plan. Obviously, we'll see what happens with Mother Nature, and if the games are postponed, we will keep you up to date on not only on 8:30 a.m. WEU, but also on all our social media posts on Instagram, Facebook, and X as well. We'll let you know when the games are moved and where they're moved and what that does to our schedule. But that's the plan. We lay out the plan, and then we see what happens. But now it's time for a plan ahead, because now we're going to get you the keys to the game, brought to you by RE/MAX Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis. If you're buying or selling a home, Phil Macaronis is a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame. With over 20 years of experience providing countless buyers and sellers keys to their real estate transactions. Call 610-670-2770. Ask for Phil Macaronis for the keys to buying and selling your home. It's the Red Knights. It's the Mules. And Rich Garcella has his keys to tonight's game.
Well, since it's such a special night, we got 4 for each one instead of our usual 3. How's that sound?
Kick it up a notch.
Yeah, we'll kick it up a notch. For the Reading High Red Knights, the visitors, they want to protect the paint. That's what hurt them in the first meeting against Muhlenberg. Muhlenberg got into the paint in that third quarter and took control of the game. They want to protect the ball. If you remember, and I know Bob does, the Red Knights committed 23 turnovers in that game, that first meeting. The third thing is be physical. Rick Perez wants the Red Knights to be physical and to match the physicality of the Mules. And the fourth thing for the Red Knights is play with poise. Very important. Play with poise. Because at times, earlier in the year, the Red Knights let their emotions get the best of them. For the home team, the Muhlenberg Muhls, Matt Flowers says we don't want to get stuck in December, meaning he doesn't want to think about that victory at the Geigel back in December. He wants to focus on tonight. The second one is he's reminding his players they're playing not only for the top seed in the Berks County playoffs, they're playing for possibly the top seed in the District 3 6A playoffs. And if they win tonight, it'll set up a playoff, but a championship game in Division 1 next Thursday at Berks Catholic. The third key for the Mules is share the basketball. That's when they're at their best, when they're sharing the basketball. And the fourth, they want to play at a faster pace, which is hard to believe against the Red Knights team. But Matt Flowers believes that the Mules are better in transition than the Red Knights.
Yeah, he said that initially, and it took me aback for a second because, again, you're kind of playing with poison when you say we want to play faster against Reading High. But look, that's kind of the skill set that Muhlenberg has. But he also wants them to be more aggressive off the dribble, and he felt like I think that maybe they got lulled to sleep a little bit in that first half because when they played aggressively coming out of the locker room, and we talked about it, we kidded about him. Hey, what did you do? What exactly did you say to them at halftime? Because, again, they were down 10 at halftime. They didn't just fix it. They fixed it fast. They scored the next 15 points coming out of the locker room, and suddenly now all of a sudden Reading High was chasing the Mules instead. Now it's time for our Spotlight, brought to you by Huber's Auto Group. Tonight we focus on Spotlight on, well, speaking of Matt Flowers, he pointed the spotlight, so I'm going to take him up on it, and that's on Jeffrey Collado. I'll explain why in a moment. Huber's is the region's answer for your car rental needs, whether taking the whole crew in a luxury van to Florida or just a few days to the mountains in an SUV. Huber's stands by their reservations, ensuring the ride you book is the ride you get. Check out their inventory. Get a quote at huberauto.com. That's Huber, Huber, auto.com. And as I said, we're pointing it at Jeffrey Collado because Matt Flowers said that. He said that that's the guy. I think if we're going to win this game, Jeffrey Collado is going to be the guy that makes a difference, which sounds funny when you look at the numbers because he's averaging 3.7 points per game. But again, it gets back to what we were talking about a moment ago. It's the physicality that Jeffrey Collado brings to that. Rick Perez has told us on more than one occasion he's looking from that from Jameer Jacob, who at 6'3" and a junior can give them the physicality. He just hasn't really shown that. Rick Perez is imploring him to give him a little bit more of that inside because he has the body to do that. Will he do that tonight? Will this crowd impact that? And how will this crowd impact that? Because if you don't think it does, then you're just not paying attention. Just watch it on our YouTube channel. You'll see it. This place has been sold out for a couple of days. There were no tickets left at the door. And Sean Tansky and I got here a little bit after 4:30, and they were already lined up outside the door. It was back to the old days with the Reading High fans lined up outside the door, waiting for them to open it up so they could come in here. It's got that atmosphere. It's got a huge powder keg-like environment. So how can they withstand it? How can they hold on to it? And this is something that Rick Perez and Rich and I have had the conversation on more than one occasions, which is foul difficulty. Reading has gotten themselves into foul difficulty, picking up fouls, going for steals, whether it's Wesley Rosario or it's Justin DeCastro, getting themselves in foul troubles. The Red Knights, certainly at the beginning of the year, could not afford to take them off the floor, had to leave them on the floor. That's why building that bench for Rick Perez has been so vitally important. Just to keep them from having to, if Wesley Rosario does pick up 2 fouls in the first half, if now, instead of having to leave him on the floor because he didn't trust bringing him out the bench, there were times that he kind of kidded with us, Rich, about the fact that he kind of turned around, look at his bench, and go like, "Yeah, no, I don't like what I see. I'm going to leave Justin out there, or leave Wesley out there and take my chances." And ultimately, they end up getting themselves in foul trouble. But learning that, like, don't pick up that silly foul when you've got 2. Don't pick up the 4th when you've got 3. Be a little bit more careful. It's really all about learning how to play the game, but also having that bench behind them can get them off the floor at times and maybe buy them a little bit of time.
Yeah, I think the fact that Javon Merriweather is back and he was out for a while with concussion, and the fact that Raven Rubio has been added to the rotation, this is a deeper team than it was in December when these two teams played each other at the Geigel. That's a big plus because we talked about it. You're right. We talked about it how many times when whether it was Rosario or whether it was DeCastro or Jacob getting in foul trouble, where do you turn? Where does Rick Perez turn? And he said he wondered the same thing. But now they're a little deeper. They can weather the storm if somebody does get into foul trouble, and they can match the depth of a Muhlenberg, because Muhlenberg's been 9 or 10 deep all season long.
Time now for us to take a look at our starting lineups before they're introduced to the crowd here at Muhlenberg. Our lineup starting lineups are brought to you by Victor Manuel Beneficial Society. They've been serving authentic homemade Italian dishes for over 110 years. New memberships are now being accepted for only $10. The facility at 311 Hazel Street in Reading is also available for rental for private parties, banquets, and celebrations. Victor Manuel, Taste of Italy, right here in Reading. And, of course, for the Reading Red Knights, Rick Perez, after 12 years, steps aside for a couple and then comes back. So this is his 13th season overall as a head coach at Reading High, and he is, quite simply, the winningest basketball coach at the winningest basketball school in the state of Pennsylvania. The Red Knights at now 2,292 wins, more than anybody in the state of Pennsylvania, and by a lot. But Rick Perez has won more games than anybody as a head coach at 293 and 79. He's won 6 Berks titles. He's won 5 District 3 titles. And, of course, he painted his legacy forever by winning the state title in 2017, came back and won it again in 2021 and 2023. 3 state titles with Reading High School. And, of course, Matt Flowers was his assistant for 2 of those 3 titles. And this is the starting 5 for the Red Knights. It'll be Jameer Jacob, the 6'3 junior, at 1 forward spot, and then pretty much 4 guards around him. With Michael Portland getting a start now, Javon Merriweather comes off the bench, which we did not realize. Rick Perez kind of filled us in on that after Javon came back from the starting line from being hurt, they felt like his role could be better served for them to come off the bench, and it's obviously worked very well for Merriweather and for the Red Knights. So Michael Portalatins comes in as a starter. Cameron Jones, the 6-foot sophomore. Justin DeCastro, 6'2 and a junior. And then the point guard is Wesley Rosario, 6 foot and a senior. DeCastro at 21.1 a game. Merriweather at 13.6. Rosario at 13. But don't forget about the player we talked about earlier in Cameron Jones. Averaging 7 a game, but he's been in double figures 3 times in the last 4 games as he gets more and more comfortable offensively as a 10th grader playing for the Red Knights. Muhlenberg Muhls, coached by one of their own. Matt Flowers, 2001 graduate at Muhlenberg High School, and in 5 seasons, he has already won 81 games. He's 81 and 41, including his 14-3 record so far in 2026. And this is the way the Mules will go. Jeffrey Collado, 6'1" and a senior. Michael Miller, 6 foot and a senior, will be the forwards. The guards, Justin Armstrong, Eli Hemmings, and Nelson Malave. All three are juniors, and they are their top 3 scorers. Hemmings at 16.4 per game, Armstrong at 13.5, and Malave at 11.7. Miller at 6.7, and Collado at 3.7. That is the starting lineup for the Muhlenberg Muhls. The Red Knights and the Mules, moments away from tip-off here in Laureldale.
Well, if the emotions weren't high enough while you were running down the starting lineups, Wesley Rosario from Reading and Mikey Miller from Muhlenberg exchanged pleasantries. Both chatting with each other. And then I watched Jim Murray, who's the lead official tonight. He's a veteran official. He's one of the best, if not the best, in the county. Gathered Rick Perez and Matt Flowers, and after he saw that, and had a little get together. And I'm going to guess said, okay, that's not going to happen once this game starts. And I remember this from the last meeting, Bob. The emotions were really high in that first half. There was a lot of chippiness, and I would expect with the crew led by Jim Murray that may not happen tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the players themselves, they feast off it. They love it. They want to play that way. And both of these two coaches are not going to tell their players to back down from it. It's why Matt Flowers talks about the emotional intelligence side of it. You have to do it within reason. Can't get yourself in a bad spot by doing that. And how this game is officiated, I'm not pointing the finger at them, but their players have to adjust to how this game is officiated, because if the officials decide early on, look, there is going to be no nonsense, then you better kind of straighten up or fly right, or you're going to become an assistant coach because you're going to be in foul trouble early.
Yeah. I mean, I think, let's just play basketball. I know, the trash talking is one thing, but it got chippy the first time, and it has, again, the emotions are so high, especially we're here in late January, a lot of playoff implications. Hey, Bob, they can play after tonight, they can play in the county playoffs and the district playoffs. Who knows how things pan out?
Yeah, this is meeting 2. There could be a 3 and there could be a 4.
Right.
The way things ultimately look. And again, this has to do with the level of Berks County basketball now and what they are able to do and where they all fit in once we get into the District 3 playoffs. It's almost tip-off time. We're going to have it for you when we come back here on WEEU. The Red Knights and the Mules about to get it rolling in Laureldale.
Temperatures dropped and my heating wouldn't kick on, so I called Keith HVAC, Electrical and Plumbing. They had it running fast and at a fair price. That was years ago, and I've trusted them ever since. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, Keith does it all. Honest, fast, professional. They've been around for 30 years for a reason. Call Keith HVAC today. You'll be glad you did.
Keith HVAC Electrical and Plumbing. Quality you trust, comfort you deserve. Call 610-589-6461 or visit keithhvac.com.
Looking for the best pizza in Berks? Come to Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, located along Richmond Street in Reading. Whether grabbing a pie to share before the game, getting delivery for the team, or you're looking for a real Italian dining experience in a grotto-style restaurant, put Nino's on the top of your roster. As the official pizza of WEEU's Slice of Sports, Nino's knows how to feed athletes and the rest of your crew. Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, 515 Richmond Street. Call 610-921-2300 or visit ninosristorante.com.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338. Well, it only seems appropriate to talk about Valentine's Day with Reading and Muhlenberg going after one another. Valentine's Day is around the corner, and Billy's Homemade Candies has fresh dipped strawberries, chocolate charcuterie boards, milk and dark chocolate Dubai bars, and more for that special someone. Place your order by calling 610-929-1673. Stop by their location, 4949 Kutztown Road in Temple. Billy's Homemade Candies open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and Saturdays from 9 to 2.
You know how I said there were a couple players jawing to each other? a couple of the assistant coaches were just doing the same as they were going to the bench.
Yeah, it's going to be the guys in the stripes tonight are going to earn their keep. There's no doubt about that.
I would not want that. Fair play.
And that would be Jim Murray, as Rich talked about, Colin Landis and Jared White. They literally were separating the teams during the national anthem, just to give you an idea. Time for us to go to tip-off, and our tip-off is presented by the Coley Insurance Group. Discover the power of choice with Goosehead Insurance, the Coley Insurance Group. Locations in Muhlenberg and Wyomissing. They're a fully independent insurance agency with access to over 40 top-rated insurance carriers to ensure you get the best coverage at the best price. Whether it's auto, home, or life insurance, they have you covered. At Goosehead Insurance, the Coley Insurance Group, the power of choice is yours. Call their team today, 484-848-6088. Alongside Rich Garcella, my name is Bob McCool. The Mules in the home whites with the blue and gold trim. The Red Knights in the visiting black with the red and white trim. The ball is in the air. The game is underway, and the Red Knights will control the tap. Cameron Jones, along with Mikal Portalatin, out high for DeCastro, along with Rosario and Jameer Jacob. Jacob, they back off him. He drives inside, gets himself in position, and they whistle him for an offensive foul.
Not sure if he used his shoulder or his elbow. We were kind of screened on that, but he moved Collado off the lane, and the official made the call.
Yeah, Collado didn't even bother to go guard him in the corner, so Jacob said, all right, well, I'll drive in. And as he drove in, he decided to meet Collado at the basket with some physicality, and he gets called for the offensive foul. Right. So the Red Knights will turn it over on their first possession. Olave, Armstrong, Mike Miller, Hammond, and Collado, the five on the floor for the Mules. Armstrong off the screen. Reading High switches on everything. They leave Mike Miller open for three, and he buried it.
He is their glue guy.
Quickly up ahead to Castro. Fade away from the baseline. In and out. Hemmings hustles down to pull down the rebound for the Mules. Quickly up ahead for Miller. Little Euro step and two more from Michael Miller.
It's unbelievable. Matt Flowers said he is our most consistent player.
Rosario matches it on the other end, bearing a three from the left wing.
End-to-end action here in the first minute.
Number 12 from beyond the arc for Rosario makes it a 5-3 game. Armstrong goes the opposite way of a screen, drives, tries to kick it out, has it in the corner for Hemmings, wide open. The three is no good. Rebound is gathered up by Portalatin. Quickly up ahead for DeCastro on the open floor. He'll pull up for the two. That's well short. Ball is tipped, loose, and gathered up by Portalatin. Right back to the basket with the left hand, no good. And off the foot of Michael Miller, out of bounds. It'll stay Reading High basketball.
Bob, Reading usually plays a man-to-man defense, but Matt Flowers told us before the games he expects Rick Perez to throw a variety of defenses at the Mules, whether it's zone, whether it's trap, but a lot of combinations.
Inbounds for Rosario, the three, and the Red Knights that quickly gain the lead back. 6-5 Reading on 2 threes from Wesley Rosario. Here's Malave for the foul line, right back to the Mules' advantage with a 15-foot jumper.
I don't think we're going to need a shot clock tonight, Bob.
It's out of bounds, tipped out of bounds by Miller. 7-6 our score, 6:15 left to go in the first quarter of the basketball game. Mules back up on top on the field goal from Malave.
Hey, all kidding aside, if Wesley Rosario is hitting the three, that makes the Red Knights extremely dangerous. We got a double foul.
Away from the basketball.
Jim Murray.
Yep. Again, we kind of said this from the beginning that this was not going to be allowed. So see who it's going to be.
It's going to be 5 on DeCastro and Mikey Miller.
All right, so it's going to be a foul on both. Miller gets his first, obviously. DeCastro gets his first. It's number 2 against Reading High, and the first foul against Muhlenberg. So the Red Knights will inbound back underneath. The question will be whether or not that stops them. Like that's the thing. The officials are doing what they have to do. Now it's up to the players. Because if you're either one of those two players, you don't want to pick up a second foul here with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Wow, that's a sign of a really good official, Jimmy Murray, taking control of the game right away.
Portalatin sees an opening baseline, drives and scores. Mikal Portalatin puts the Red Knights back up on top, 8-7. Here's Armstrong driving right into the teeth of the defense, misses. Jacob pulls down the rebound for the Red Knights. Jones pushes it up the floor. Cam Jones from one end, off balance, off the glass. They wave off the bucket. A foul will be called. They wave off the bucket. It looks like Cam Jones will shoot 2 instead.
No, I think it's on the floor. I think the foul is going to be on the floor.
You are correct, because the bucket was good. So it'll be a foul on the floor, and I think it's on
Mikey
Miller. There you go. That's 2 quick ones on Michael Miller. Kind of what we just talked about. Cameron Jones on the drive. Knew he had the whistle, so he threw it at the basket, got it at the bank end, but they say the foul before that. So Red Knights will inbound for Rosario, guarded by Hammonds. Off the screen, Collado picks him up. Rosario going to step back for another 3. This one is short. Long rebound is gathered up by DeCastro. Spins into traffic and a foul before a travel on the spin. First turnover of the basketball game, second turnover of the basketball game for Reading High.
Let's see how long Matt Flowers keeps Mikey Miller on the floor with 2 fouls. So far, he's going to roll the dice and gamble.
Yeah, it is indeed a gamble for Matt Flowers. Miller does not pick up a third this early in the game. He made 5. He scored 5 of the Mules, 7 points. He's got the ball top of the key, looking for more, and he has it.
We haven't seen him this aggressive offensively all season long. Averaging almost 7 points a game, he already has 7.
Armstrong almost stole away the inbounds pass and went all the way out near half court. Rosario gathers it up, and the Red Knights have it in the front court inside of 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Mules back up on top 10-8. We promised you this would be a barn burner here in Muhlenberg, and it's certainly started off that way. We've already had 4 lead changes in this first quarter, and we haven't reached the halfway mark. Rosario again from the right side, guarded by Hemmings. Up top, it's Portalatin for DeCastro, guarded by Miller. Jones catch and shoot tough 3 is well off. And Portalatin comes up with another rebound, battling with Armstrong, and a foul on Armstrong.
Portalatin has given him a lot off the boards. He's got 3 rebounds already, and 2 of them are on the offensive end.
And that will bring Javon Merriweather into the game. As we talked about, Merriweather going to come off the bench now for the Red Knights. 6'2 sophomore, averaging 13.5 a game. He will come in, and Jameer Jacob comes out. Red Knight basketball inbounding underneath. Inbounds right for Merriweather, right up for 3, right in the books.
Yeah, Javon Merriweather is an outstanding offensive player. Wasted no time in getting on the board.
And here's a steal back the other way. Cameron Jones comes away with it. First Muhlenberg turnover. After Merriweather buried his 26th 3 of the season, the leader for the Red Knights by a lot. Wesley Rosario has 2 threes in this game, trying to do it on a dribble drive, poked away, taken away, up ahead. Miller for Malave off the glass for Hemmings to slam it down.
That got the crowd off its feet. What a play.
Very unselfish and very stylish by Nelson Malave. Off the glass for Hemmings to throw it down. Leader in the clubhouse for a celebration bill of extra play of the game. Merriweather bangs right back to a 3. Up ahead to Hemmings on the run out. He got fouled before he gets the shot off.
Well, you blink and you miss something here tonight. The way this is end to end.
Javon Merriweather off the bench with back-to-back 3s for Reading. And then even though Hemmings gave up the 3, he ran out on it, and they heaved it up the floor to him. And the foul called on Merriweather trying to get back. His first, Red Knights' 3rd. Inbounds for Collado, taken away by DeCastro. Back-to-back turnovers for the Mules. DeCastro trying to get into the mix offensively, and he does.
And Justin DeCastro, the Red Knights' leading scorer, is now on the board.
16-12, Red Knights with the 4-point advantage with 3:30 left to go in the first. Just day off for Berks County High School basketball between Reading High and Muhlenberg. This is going to be wild. Armstrong gives it back for Malave, guarded by Jones. Former teammates with one another. Malave kind of on a clear out here, going to pop for 3. That's off the back iron. Long rebound. Collado fights with it, but he was out of bounds in the scramble for the ball. Collado had his feet on the ground. And so this should be Reading High basketball. But first, it's like a fumble in football. They literally had to pull bodies off the pile. And it will be Reading High basketball.
Again, we said it in the pregame. This is 32 minutes for both teams. There's no 31 minutes and 40 seconds. It is 32 minutes of intensity.
Inbounds pass across half court for Rosario. Miller reached in and just picked up his 3rd foul.
That's just not a smart foul by Mikey Miller near midcourt. And it was clearly a foul. We could see it from here.
Yep, so he's going to have to come out now with 3 fouls. Ryan Hutchinson, a 6-foot sophomore, is a very good defender, will come into the game for Muhlenberg. But Mike Miller with 8 points has to come out of the game with 3:02 to go and a timeout call. Matt Flowers will call a 30-second timeout, maybe a little bit of a temperature check right now for Matt Flowers.
Yeah, the Mules got to calm down. I mean, both teams are playing like I said, the first meeting came out very, very emotional. It was chippy. We've seen a lot of chippiness so far here in the first 5 minutes, and then it got into the game. As the night wore on, and Mikey Miller though, that's a big loss. He already has 8 points for the Mules. Commits a foul 40 feet away from the basket on the inbounds pass. Clearly hit Wesley Rosario. No doubt about it. Now he's got to sit the rest of the half.
So it's a 16-12 advantage for Reading High thanks to the three ball. Reading High with 4 threes already in the game. They're not a great three-point shooting team. They're not a bad three-point shooting team, but that's not necessarily their MO. But 4 threes in the first quarter for the Red Knights, 2 for Rosario, and then Javon Merriweather comes off the bench and bangs 2 straight for the Red Knights to get them up on top 16-12. Now, Michael Miller out, again, Ryan Hutchinson in. Red Knights basketball following the Muhlenberg timeout. Jones, DeCastro, Rosario, Portalatin, and Merriweather, the 5 on the floor for the Red Knights. DeCastro and Jones having a conversation out near the center circle. Pulls Collado a long way guarding Cameron Jones. Pulls him away from the basket. Here's DeCastro, double team, steps between it, find the open man. It's Merriweather for 3 again. This one is no good. Up off the top of the backboard. It hit the back standard, and that will go over to Muhlenberg. Hemmings, Hutchinson, Fleming. Armstrong, Malave, and Collado, but substitutions now for Muhlenberg. Josh Miller, 6'1 sophomore, will come in for Armstrong. And Jaden Perez, the 6'4 senior, and the son of Rick Perez, will come into the game for Collado.
Jaden Perez, a very dangerous three-point shooter. If he's left alone, he is going to fire. And most times, if he's left alone, he's hitting.
Red Knights now in a little bit of a 1-2-2. Here's Perez from the foul line. Catch and shoot, no. And Rosario pulls down the rebound. 2:20 left in the first. Red Knights on top by 4. Rosario, stutter step, drives right into the teeth and the jump ball. Perez tied him up, and they're going to go to the possession arrow, and I believe it's Red Knight basketball. It is. So it'll be another turnover for the Mules, their 4th. And with that, into the game for Reading High comes Tajay Slaughter. 6'2 freshman comes in, and Portalatin comes out. Freshman in, senior to the bench.
Rick Perez, we talked about the Red Knights committed 23 turnovers in that first meeting with the Mules. That was a focus.
Jane Perez dribbled himself into a tangle and got it taken away from him. Red Knights have it back again. Rosario looked to go inside. Perez knocked it away. Turnover right back by Reading High. Hemmings on a 3-on-1 for Hutchinson. No good, but he's fouled. Cam Jones was the one back there on that 3-on-1 for Muhlenberg. And Jones reaches in and commits the foul and will put Hutchinson at the free throw line. Hutchinson will shoot 2, and now Rosario's shaken up. He's limping badly coming back to the bench. Now we will see the sophomore we talked about in the pregame show, Raven Rubio, 6'1 sophomore at the scorer's table to come in for Rosario. I think Wesley's trying to buy some time and see if he can stay in there. Hutchinson's first free throw, no good. And now they will bring Rubio in, and Rosario will come out.
He looks like he's in a lot of pain.
His right leg, I don't know if it's knee or ankle, but just having a hard time putting some weight on it right now. As Hutchinson's at the free throw line to shoot a second. He might be headed. Looks like Rosario's headed to the locker room. 1:58 left to go in the first. And Hutchinson misses them both. Scoreboard been stuck all of a sudden at 16-12. Red Knights have the basketball back. Muhlenberg extended the floor a little bit here with Hemmings out at the top. They beat it. They kick it back. The Castro tees up the 3. Got it.
Wide open 3. Great look.
5 threes in the first quarter for Reading High. They lead it by 7 with 1:35 to go in the first. Perez double team. Kicks it for Malave. Swings it out high for Hemmings. He'll try to match that 3, but that's well short and will roll out of bounds. Red Knights are going to get it right back. So Michael Miller, who got a fast 8 points on the Muhlenberg bench with 3 fouls. Wesley Rosario, who got a fast 6 points for Reading High, right now headed to the locker room for the Red Knights with an injury situation. The Red Knights have it back in a 7-point lead. Rick Perez will not be any hurry right now. Trying to stretch the floor a little bit now with the ball in the hands of DeCastro. Flips it for Cameron Jones.
Bob, Reading has played well in spurts throughout the season. It's the consistency from start to finish that Rick Perez is looking for.
Jones with a great find behind the defense. The Mules fell asleep. Cameron Jones made him pay for it as he finds Slaughter, who scores and gets fouled.
Cameron Jones is so good, and he's only a sophomore. He has great court awareness. What a pass.
Jaden Perez commits the foul, his first. Mules over the limit now with 5 fouls as Slaughter shooting one to finish off a three-point play. Talked about the basketball IQ of Cameron Jones with Rick Perez before tonight's game as Slaughter misses the first. It's 21-12, Red Knights on top. Malave trying to change that, blocked by Slaughter. Out of bounds, it'll stay Muhlenberg basketball. 50 seconds left to go in the first. Rosario out of the locker room and right back into the lineup.
Right now, the Mules, as you said, they need to find some traction here. They need to find themselves. They're down 9 here with 50 seconds left in the first quarter. They've kind of lost their way on offense, especially.
21-12, Red Knights on top. Muhlenberg inbounds underneath their own bucket. Hemmings the inbounder, and a foul on the inbound between DeCastro and Malave. If that's on DeCastro, that's 2.
No, it's going to be on Malave, I believe. Oh, no, it is DeCastro.
Yeah, no, it's DeCastro held him on the inbounds pass, so now he picks up his second. It's also over the limit for the Red Knights. Yep. Muhlenberg will be at the line now, shooting 2.
Now, wait a minute. Who's it on? Yep, it's
on DeCastro. Okay. So Malave will shoot 2. It was on the inbounds pass as Malave tried to go to the corner. DeCastro grabbed a hold of it. So Nelson Malave will shoot 2 now at the stripe for the Mules.
Yeah, DeCastro with 2 fouls is not good. We've seen him get into foul trouble in other games.
Malave makes the first of 2. As we mentioned, he had a career-high 25 against Berks Catholic in the Mules' lone division loss. 24 in the win over Exeter last week here on WEEU. So DeCastro now comes out. That second foul, Jameer Jacob back in for the Red Knights.
Right now, the Red Knights have a freshman, 2 sophomores, a junior, and a senior on the floor.
Malave made the first, missed the second. It's a 21-13 Reading High advantage as Muhlenberg again extends it to a 1-2-2 half court. Jones, another fine inside for Jacob off the glass and 2 more.
Terrific look by Jones. Again, finds the open man behind the defense.
23-13. Red Knight lead is 10 with 30 seconds to go in period number 1. Reading High trying to weather the storm on the road in Laurelville. Hemmings fighting off Jones. Reaches behind, pokes it away. Hemmings regathers. Out to Malave. Here's the trap on Malave. Steps between it and a timeout call. Muhlenberg called the timeout as Reading High was trapping everything. Matt Flowers bails his team out. Didn't want to call a timeout with 14 seconds left to go in the quarter, but I think in a bit of a desperation mode, felt like he had to.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to see this lead go more than 10 at the end of the first quarter. He burns his second timeout in the first quarter, down to 3.
So things started out okay for Muhlenberg. It was back and forth for a while, but the Red Knights gained control of this basketball game. We're a long way from halftime, but don't forget that the Red Knights had a 10-point lead at the Geigel in the first meeting between these two teams. Then Muhlenberg came out in the third quarter and ran off the first 15 points. So it's still a whole lot of time left to go in this one, and 14.1 left to go in the first.
Well, I'll say this. I think things started to change when Mikey Miller picked up that third foul with 3:02 left in the first quarter, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Reading is on like a 10-1 run, something like that, since that time, since that 3:02 mark.
And I will add one other piece to that changer, and that was Javon Merriweather coming off the bench and burying 2 threes on the first 2 shots he took. That certainly helped, and that's what Rick Perez is hoping for, to give him a little bit of a dated reference, the little Vinnie Johnson method, a little microwave off the bench for the old Detroit Piston days. Mule's going to try to get a shot off to finish the quarter. Malave step back for 3. Good if it goes. It's in and out. And period number 1 ends in the favor of the road team. The Reading Red Knights on top by 10 after 1. Reading 23, Muhlenberg 13. Back to Lauderdale with quarter number 2 live on WEEU in Reading.
When the pressure's on and it's time to make your best move, the Susan McFadden team with Keller Williams Platinum Realty is here to help you score big in today's real estate market. Whether you're buying, selling, or planning your next play, Susan's experience and dedication make her the MVP you want on your side. For winning results and a team that never stops hustling, trust the Susan McFadden team with Keller Williams, your home court advantage.
Hey, Berks County, Chick-fil-A Catering makes game day even better. Choose from a variety of trays, including Chick-fil-A nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate chunk cookies. Perfect for your next gathering. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling ahead and pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate and enjoy the perfect spread with Chick-fil-A Catering. Availability and order requirements vary. See restaurant for details.
Valentine's Day is around the corner. Billy's Homemade Candies has fresh dipped strawberries, chocolate charcuterie boards, milk and dark chocolate Dubai bars, and more for that special someone. Place your order by calling 610-929-1673 or stop by their location, 4949 Kutztown Road in Temple. Billy's Homemade Candies open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, Saturdays from 9 to 2. Plenty of love going on here in Lauderdale between the Mules and the Red Knights. As we get things started, Reading High with the lead in the basketball at 23-13.
As opposed to Matt Flowers with Mike Miller, Matt Flowers left Miller on the floor with 2 fouls. Rick Perez has taken Justin DeCastro out with 2 fouls, especially with a 10-point lead. He can afford to do that.
Justin DeCastro with a drive and a floater with left hand, no good, and a foul on the gather for the rebound. I believe they're going to get Portalatin over the back.
Yep.
Marco Portalatin, who, as Rich said, very active on the offensive glass tonight for the Red Knights, commits the foul. His first, Reading's obviously first foul of the second quarter, which is now 15 seconds old. And Muhlenberg with the basketball. Reading High now extended to a 1-2-2 from the half-court stripe with the freshman Slaughter out at the top. Miller back in the game from one Miller to the other, from Michael to Josh. Not related. Michael going to pop for 3 again. Not this time. And follows up, gets his own rebound. Right back to Hemmings in the right corner for 3. That's no good. Hemmings trying to get his own rebound and does. And another look for Muhlenberg is deflected out of bounds by Jones. Reading High gets the deflection. Muhlenberg will keep the basketball, and another look for the Mules.
You talking about playing with fire. Mikey Miller went after that offensive rebound and bumped into one or two Reading players. Didn't get the foul.
Inbounds to Josh Miller. Catch and shoot 3. No. Rebounded by Jones. So the Muhlenberg Mules missed 3 from three-point range, and Red Knights have it back. Jacob with the drive, guarded by Malave. They're going to get him on a hand check foul. So the first foul against Muhlenberg here in period number 2 will be the first on Nelson Malave. Reading High will inbound underneath. Cameron Jones, Javon Merriweather, Michael Portalatin, Jameer Jacob, and Ty Slaughter. Inbounds for Merriweather. Off balance, no. Portalatin with another offensive rebound, no. Slaughter grabs it again for the Red Knights. Kick out Jacob, top of the key for 3. That's no good. Malave had it, tried to keep it, couldn't do so. Red Knights get it back. Portalatin off balance, no good, but a foul. This might be on Miller, and if it is, it's number 4.
Wow. Let's see.
Yep.
That's exactly who it is. That is a huge, huge play. 4 fouls on Mike Miller. 1 minute and 7 seconds into the second quarter.
And it's all because of the work on the offensive glass for Reading High, giving themselves 4 and 5 shot opportunities. And ultimately, Portalatin, again, active on the glass, comes up with another rebound for Reading High. And at the free throw line, Portalatin makes the first of 2. Senior who did not play Reading High basketball before this season has been a big piece of the puzzle for Rick Perez. Gives them a lot and plays a little bit bigger than his 5'10". 2 for 2 here at the free throw line. 25-13 now as the Red Knights get the first 2 points of the second quarter, their largest lead at 12. We're 1 minute and 10 seconds into the second quarter. Josh Miller kicks it out for Armstrong. Collado in now with Michael Miller out with that 4th foul. Josh Miller left alone for 3. No good. Rebounded by Jacob. So the Mules right now lulled into the 3-point line and not coming up with anything. And the Red Knights have it back. Jones on the dribble drive. Dumps it off again for Slaughter. No good. Collado gathers up the rebound. Armstrong in the open floor. Good job by the Red Knights to get back defensively. They left Armstrong alone at the top, but another 3 is no good. Cameron Jones pulls down the rebound. Up ahead for Merriweather. Stutter stop. Inside for Portalatin and 2. Red Knights clicking on all cylinders. The lead is now 14. 27-13, Reading High on top.
Again, they were up 10 in the first meeting, 10 at halftime before Muhlenberg rallied.
Swinging around for Malave, and finally the Mules cracked the ice from beyond the arc.
They missed their first 5 shots, all from 3 this quarter. Before that, 3 by Malave.
Red Knights about to turn it over, and they do, as Jacob could not save it. DeCastro, Rosario back in. Talked about Rick Perez buying time with his now developed bench. Here they come. They got an 11-point lead, and Rosario and DeCastro were on the bench.
Yeah, Rosario, I would keep DeCastro on the bench with this lead with 2 fouls. You have an advantage. Just try to kill some time, maybe extend the lead. But you're right, the bench did a great job.
Josh Miller with the dribble drive, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Josh Miller. Rosario absorbs the charge. Josh Miller picks up his first, which is an offensive. Third foul already against Muhlenberg in the quarter.
No doubt about that one. Rosario was planted, waiting for Miller to go to the basket, and took the charge.
Reading High quickly up the other end of the floor. DeCastro trying to work his way around the defense of Josh Miller. Traveled in the process. First turnover of the second quarter for Reading after 6 in the first quarter.
Rob, Reading defensively has done a marvelous job keeping Justin Armstrong off the board and making him a non-factor so far.
27-16. Here's a throwaway as the Red Knights turn it over Muhlenberg turns it over again for Rosario. For DeCastro inside, up in the air, a foul. Justin DeCastro will shoot 2 for Reading High.
And I think that's going to be on Hemmings, which would be his first. But they already have 14 fouls this quarter.
We'll put DeCastro at the free throw line. Red Knights are doing all of this with a relatively tame night so far for Justin DeCastro. 21 points per game. He's got 5 so far. Looking for his first points here in the second quarter. And the first is good. Castro, a 75% free throw shooter on the season. Red Knights as a team are 70%. 5:15 still remaining in the first half. And 1 out of 2 for DeCastro makes it 28-16 in favor of the Red Knights. Mules with the basketball in the hand of Eli Hemmings. Good pass inside to Malave. He missed the shot. Ball tipped around. DeCastro has it back. Up ahead for Portalatin. Trying to go under Hemmings, who blocked his shot. Muhlenberg gets it right back. Good defense by Hemmings. Open floor. Hemmings for 3. No. Tipped around. Cameron Jones has it. Quickly up ahead for Jacob. Has to run it down in the corner. Drives, spins, gets Hemmings up in the air, gets around him and scores. Pretty move by Jameer Jacob with Hemmings up in the air around him. It's a 30-16 Reading High lead. Here's Jaden Perez for 3. That's no good. DeCastro back the other way for Reading High. Waits for help. Rosario, that's long enough of a wait. The 3 is no good. Josh Miller rebounds it for the Mules. 4:20 to go.
Bob, don't blink.
Josh Miller turns down the 3 and takes the 2. Good decision by the sophomore. 3s weren't going. Step inside, make it 2.
Just the second 2-point attempt this quarter by the Mules.
30-18 as a result. We are halfway through quarter number 2. Here's Rosario, nowhere to go with the basketball. It's poked away. It's still loose on the floor. Portalatin dives on it, but he was out of bounds. He's calling for a travel in the process. It'll stay Muhlenberg basketball.
Yeah, that time Wesley Rosario tried to do a little too much, and one of the Mules knocked the ball away, and then we saw the scramble for the loose ball, and Portalatin was out of bounds.
We had a flurry of lead changes for a while in the first quarter. Reading High took a lead at 14-12. They have not surrendered it since. Their lead is 12. Muhlenberg gets the ball back with 3:48 still left to go in the first. Armstrong, Malave, Perez, Josh Miller, and Eli Hemmings, the 5 on the floor right now for Muhlenberg. Quiet night so far for Armstrong. Foul line is Jaden Perez. Trying to back down Rosario. Try to kick it to the corner. It was deflected by Cameron Jones. Out of bounds. It's Muhlenberg basketball. Red Knights are going to trap anybody and everybody as soon as you pick up your dribble.
Muhlenberg just hasn't been able to get on a run here for about 8 minutes. Just cannot put together scores on back-to-back possessions.
Again, fell in love with the three-point shot,
Sure did.
and it wasn't working. Hemmings drives. Perez will try another three. That's well short, and it ends up in the hands of Javon Merriweather and right back to the Red Knights. Up ahead for Merriweather, who waits, kicks it back for DeCastro. There's a trap, poked away. Jones picks it up. Great find again. Jameer Jacob for two.
Cameron Jones hasn't scored, but he's having a heck of a game.
He sure is. He's finding a lot of people along the baseline. 32-18. And a foul called now against the Red Knights with the stop of the play. This is going to be on Jacob.
That's his second.
And the Red Knights the Red Knights fourth here in the quarter.
No, Red Knights second.
You are correct.
Yeah,
I was right the
Mules
first time.
have four.
And so not going to be shooting at the free throw line. Ryan Hutchinson back in the game for Muhlenberg is the inbounder. Malave just pulling his way in. Weather has the rebound.
Every shot is contested.
DeCastro pulls up. Now he doesn't. Rolls it up in the rim. No. And a foul over the back on DeCastro, his third. DeCastro missed the shot and trying to get the ball back, went over the back of Josh Miller and picked up his third foul. Exactly what we talked about in the pregame show.
Yeah, you're up 14, and wait a minute. Clock was running, I think. That's a little. But that's his third foul. Now I'm guessing he's coming out. Rubio's coming in for him. You have a lead. You can afford to sit him on the bench with a 12, 14-point lead.
So DeCastro comes out. Right now they're checking at the scorer's table. I'm assuming on either a foul or the time. We're gonna have an officials timeout here just to straighten this out. 2:46 is what they have on the clock. And right now the officials are talking to the scorebook. So this isn't. I can't imagine this is a time issue. This is either a possession or a foul. It's probably matching up. My guess is that the Red Knights book and the Muhlenberg book does not match in fouls. One probably has DeCastro with 3 and the other with 2.
And we have him with 3.
Right.
Both of
but
us.
Our vote doesn't count.
Does not count. Absolutely does not
I mean, we're interested. Don't get me wrong. We're not disinterested, but we don't get a vote. So that's the issue. But I will tell you this. It's a very simple PIAA rule. Home book is it.
Yeah.
If there's a discrepancy, the home book is accurate. So they're trying to work through it right now with assistant coaches for both teams kind of overseeing it, trying to determine where the fouls occurred.
I just want to say this. The best way to avoid confusion is to have the two scorekeepers next to each other.
Yeah.
Here tonight, they're on the opposite ends of the table. That's all I'll say.
Right. Yeah.
And they're not. This isn't the only place that has that. But when you put the scorekeepers together, there's less confusion.
Well, the scoreboard says it is 3 fouls on DeCastro. So again, whether they agreed or whether they just went by the rule book, which says, well, if you can't agree, home book is right. And so DeCastro has 3. He's on the bench now with 2:46 left to go in the second quarter. Muhlenberg has the basketball. Ryan Hutchinson, Jaden Armstrong, Nelson Malave, Eli Hemmings, Josh Miller, the 5 on the floor for the Mules. Looking for a spark offensively. Just 5 second quarter points so far from Muhlenberg. Armstrong, not a point yet tonight. Has the basketball on the dribble drive. Tucks, absorbs some contact, and
I think it's going to be on Merriweather. Yep.
So that's number 2 on Javon Merriweather. And not a shooting foul, just the 4th against the Red Knights.
Again, Reading doing a wonderful job cutting off the lanes for Justin Armstrong to get to the basket. He's been able to do that tonight.
There is Armstrong at the top of the key, guarded by Jones. Off the screen from Malave. There's the trap. Swings it around from Malave. Right back to Armstrong. Catch and shoot open 3. No. Fight for the rebound. Hutchinson battling with Dick Jacob, and Hutchinson wins it, and then it's knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay Muhlenberg basketball. A rare offensive rebound for Muhlenberg in this second quarter.
Muhlenberg 1 for 10 from three-point range this quarter.
And now Rick Perez is going to use his first timeout. Comes with 2:16 left to go. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout with the Red Knights, who are on top 32-18. Back to Muhlenberg on WEEU after this.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
Reading High had a 10-point lead after 8 minutes. They have a 14-point lead right now with 2:16 left to go in the third quarter. And this is danger zone time for Muhlenberg. They need to keep the Red Knights within an arm's reach. Again, it was a 10-point game at halftime the first time. But with Michael Miller on the bench with 4 fouls and Muhlenberg on a cold shooting second quarter, they need to try to get themselves back in it, and they do. Off the inbound, Nelson Malave scores 2.
Yeah, a little bit of a loose ball. Malave picked it up in the lane and scored over Rosario.
Gets it to a 12-point game with 2 minutes to go. Jacob, Jones, Rubio, Rosario, and Merriweather, the 5 on the floor. Here's Rosario posting up against Hutchinson down low. Drives inside, scores 2.
He was determined, and he was not going to be denied.
So his first 6 points were 3-pointers. This time he posts up down low and now forces a traveling violation on the other end.
And Ryan Hutchinson got caught, wasn't quite sure what to do.
And that was all set up by the senior Wesley Rosario, who gets the bucket on Hutchinson and then hounds him defensively and forces the turnover. 1:44 left in the second. The Red Knights get it back.
The Red Knights' defense so far has been marvelous, just marvelous. Eli Hemmings, Muhls' leading scorer, has 2. Justin Armstrong, their second leading scorer, has none.
Now we're going to get a whistle again against Muhlenberg defensively. This is going to put the Red Knights on the line now in the bonus.
Josh Miller, I believe.
To Rich's point, this is a Muhlenberg team that's averaging just shy of 65 points per game.
Yeah.
They've got 20 with 92 seconds left to go in the first half.
And it's a variety of defenses. It's not only a straight man-to-man. It's the trapping. It's a kind of a matchup. They've cut off the driving lanes for Armstrong, which is a big key of Muhlenberg's offense. And Hemmings has been almost a non-factor. Hemmings has just 5 field goal attempts.
Mir Jacob averaging 6.7 a game for the Red Knights. Just made the first of 2 free throws. That gives him 7. And the offense that Rick Perez has been longing for from Jameer Jacobs showing up in the first half tonight as he makes them both. 6 1/4, 8 on the night for Jacob with 1:31 to go. Red Knight lead now its largest at 16 points.
Yeah, one of the keys for Reading, we got a foul away from the ball, Bob.
Jacob and Hutchinson with a little pushing matchup, and they're going to get Jacob, and that's going to put Hutchinson on the line.
Yep, and that's Jacob's third.
Yep. Number 5 on the Red Knights, number 3 on Jacob. And again, this is the stuff that will frustrate you either as a fan or as a coach. It's away from the basketball, nothing to be gained by it.
Nope.
And you pick up your third foul and you put them on the line. It's a benefit for Muhlenberg.
Hutchinson was over on the sideline, basically, and didn't have the ball, and Jacob commits his third foul.
So Hutchinson, who missed 2 free throws earlier, back at the free throw line, makes the first for his first point of the game.
And now Reading has 2 starters on the bench with 3 fouls. Muhlenberg, of course, it has 1 starter, Mikey Miller, on the bench with 4 fouls.
1:26 left to go in the second quarter as Jacob comes out. Portalatin back in. Second free throw is also good. Makes it a 36-22 game.
Inadvertent buzzer.
Okay.
Horn.
1:26 left. And again, Red Knights with the basketball. It's Cam Jones, Michael Portalatin, Taiji Slaughter, Raven Rubio, and Wesley Rosario, the 5 on the floor for the Red Knights. Rosario takes it up the floor. I mean, if you ask Rick Perez in November that in late January, mid-January, he would have Michael Portalatin, Taiji Slaughter, and Reben Rubio on the floor late in the second quarter against Muhlenberg, if you asked him that, he would have checked your temperature.
Yeah, they've gotten much deeper again since we saw them first in that first meeting against Muhlenberg in December at the Geigel.
A minute left to go. Red Knights in no hurry. They lead it by 14 points. Stretch the floor in the hands of Rosario. Muhlenberg sagging back right now in a 2-3 zone, so the Red Knights not in any hurry. With their leading scorer, DeCastro, on the bench with 3 fouls.
Here comes the double team.
Rosario gives it up for Portalatin, who gives it right back to Rosario. Now to 40 seconds left to go. Rosario tries to step between a double team. He's fouled. He'll shoot 2. Going to give it on Armstrong.
And that's his second.
I think if you don't have 2 fouls in this game, you're not trying. So to the foul line goes Wesley Rosario. Again, Rosario got the Red Knights sparked offensively with a couple of threes in the first quarter. Averages 13 points a game, 67% free throw shooter, makes the first of 2. Red Knights 6 out of 7 at the free throw line so far here in this second quarter, with another one coming for Rosario. So plenty of time for the Mules left in the quarter at 39.6 to try to get something out of this second quarter, but their deficit is 16 points, 38-22. Josh Miller goes through the defense and a foul before he gets there. It's going to be a 2-shot foul regardless because it's in the bonus. It's going to be on Rosario.
Believe it or not, that's just his first. Like you said, if you don't have 2 fouls in this game, you're not trying.
So Josh Miller now will shoot for the Mules, his first trip to the line tonight. And first is good. Sophomore who did not play in the first meeting between these two teams. He was out with an ankle injury. Gives them a shooter off the bench. Portalatin back into the game for the Red Knights as Slaughter will come out. Second by Miller is also good. He's got 4 points all in the quarter. It's a 14-point Red Knight advantage. And the Red Knights get across the half-court stripe. Here's Rubio who dumps it for Merriweather and a bucket.
Really
and
pretty,
a foul.
Bob, really pretty play by Rubio, who has just started to play varsity ball the last 4 games. He could have gone to the basket, but he found Merriweather underneath all alone. Merriweather scores, draws the foul.
Did I hear Rick Perez right? Did he say that he was basically lobbying with his coaches to get Rubio on the varsity?
That is exactly what he told us.
Don't you just go over to the trophy case and say, like, all right, I win. It's mine. I'm going to take it. And he's won the battle, and he's been right. It's a 40-24 advantage. Muhlenberg, maybe a last desperation shot here. No, it's poked away by Jones. Red Knights get it back. Now Reading with another chance. Merriweather for 3. In and out. Right back up with a rebound. Portalatin, no. Rosario, no. Rubio, no. Still loose on the floor. And eventually, Malave comes away with it, and the half ends without a bucket.
4
but
shots.
The Reading High Red Knights headed to the locker room with their largest lead of the night. Reading 40, Muhlenberg 24. We will take a timeout. Everybody will take a big deep breath. And our Lincoln Plumbing and Heating halftime show comes your way next, right here on WEEU in Reading.
Support your Berks County community while purchasing great new and used furniture, appliances, and building supplies at the Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County. Located at 5370 Allentown Pike in Temple, the Restore carries brand name new and used appliances, furniture, home decor, and more. Many new items are manufacturer direct and are available at unbeatable prices. Stop by the Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County Tuesdays through Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or visit our website at restoreberks.org for more information.
Looking for the best pizza in Berks? Come to Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, located along Richmond Street in Reading. Whether grabbing a pie to share before the game, getting delivery for the team, or you're looking for a real Italian dining experience in a grotto-style restaurant, put Nino's on the top of your roster. As the official pizza of WEEU's Slice of Sports, Nino's knows how to feed athletes and the rest of your crew. Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, 515 Richmond Street. Call 610-921-2300 or visit ninosristorante.com.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338. When the pressure's on and it's time to make your best move, the Susan McFadden team with Keller Williams Platinum Realty is here to help you score big in today's real estate market. Whether you're buying, selling, or planning your next play, Susan's experience and dedication make her the MVP you want on your side. For winning results and a team that never stops hustling, trust the Susan McFadden team with Keller Williams, your home court advantage.
Tonight's halftime show is brought to you by Lincoln Plumbing and Heating. What do you ever get a good one? Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Lincoln Plumbing has the experience to help from a leaky faucet to a whole bathroom remodel. Call 610-376-0863 for Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, as honest as their name. Alongside Rich Garcella, my name is Bob McCool. It's the Reading Red Knights and the Muhlenberg Muhls, and it was a back-and-forth first quarter. 7 lead changes at one point in that first quarter. Reading took the last of those 7 lead changes at 14-12. Red Knights push it to a 10-point advantage in the end of the quarter. And at the locker room, their largest lead of the night, 16 points, 40-24. Reading high on top of Muhlenberg. In these scenarios, Rich, this powder keg that's here at Laureldale, you always talk about if you're the visitor, you kind of got to weather the storm. Now, Reading High likes to create a storm, but they did indeed weather the storm because after what was a absolute frantic first quarter, they kind of took Muhlenberg out of this game, and it was a much quieter second quarter while the Red Knights, I don't say lulled them to sleep, but just kind of took them down slowly but methodically through the second quarter.
Well, very similar to the first meeting. The first 4 or 5 minutes of the game was chippy. The officials tonight took control, made sure this wasn't going to happen for the whole night. And that's why you have so many guys with fouls. But these totally legit calls. The problem for Muhlenberg is that Reading's defense, especially since Michael Miller picked up his 3rd foul with 3 minutes left in the first quarter, has been outstanding, superb. Muhlenberg is just 8 for 26 from the field. Eli Hemmings, Muhlenberg's leading scorer with over 16 a game, has 2. Justin Armstrong, their second leading scorer with 13.5 a game, has none. That's the difference tonight, is the way the Reading has played defense. And the other thing is, Rick Perez told us, we have to protect the paint. They have owned the paint. They are out-rebounding Muhlenberg. They're scoring inside, whether it's off the deft passing of Cameron Jones or on second chances. They owned the game with their defense and their rebounding.
Yeah, I mean, even though they didn't score at that last flurry, they had 4 or 5 shots in the basket, and that was not the only time in this half, which can be demoralizing if you're trying to come from behind. But again, coming from behind is what Muhlenberg did the first time around. Not to beat a dead horse, but again, the Red Knights were up 10 at halftime at the Geigel. Muhlenberg came out of the second half and the third quarter and scored the first 15 points of the third quarter, ended up winning the basketball game. And we talked with Matt Flowers about it, and it was one of your keys to tonight's game. He said, we've got to dribble downhill. We've got to attack the glass. And in the second quarter, you said it, they not only did protect the paint, but they lulled Muhlenberg into just firing up threes. Yeah. And that's all the Mules did for the most part in the second quarter, was fire up threes. They did not make them. And it's opposite of what Matt Flowers wanted them to do coming into tonight.
Rick Perez said that. They like to take threes. They're averaging 6 plus a game. But the problem was they're being contested. And the other problem is they can't get inside. Eli Hemmings is really good from 15 feet in, just a terrific player. He's hardly got the ball. He's hardly had any touches. That's how good Reading's defense has been. Again, Hemmings and Armstrong, who are averaging 30 points a game, have combined for 2 in the first half.
And this might be overstating this a little bit, but I can't help but think that part of the problem in the second quarter for Muhlenberg was the absence of Michael Miller on the floor. In a lot of ways, he is the heartbeat of this Muhlenberg basketball team. He got them off to a great start. He had 8 points in the first quarter. Then he picked up 2 fouls. Then he picked up a third and ultimately picked up a fourth. Matt Flowers just simply couldn't keep him out on the floor for a whole lot of minutes in that second quarter, and it's not an ironic situation where that's when this game got away from Muhlenberg a little bit, was when Michael Miller is on the bench.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I didn't write the score down when he picked up his third foul with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. But when he picked up his fourth with just under 7 minutes left in the second, it was 25-13. And Reading was gaining control of the game, but they really got a stranglehold on it after he left, and they now have the 16-point lead at the half.
Taking a look at some individual numbers in this one. Wesley Rosario off to a fast start for the Red Knights, scored their first 6 points on a couple of threes, and threes were the story for Reading High in that first quarter. They made 5 as a team, with Rosario getting 2 of them. Javon Merriweather coming off the bench, banging in 2 of them as well, as the Red Knights had a 23-point first quarter and a 10-point lead, as I said, after 1. But it's Rosario with 10, the leader at the halftime break. Jameer Jacob with 8, Javon Merriweather with 8 as well. Justin DeCastro with just 6, which is a bit below his average, but still a decent first half. The Red Knights will take that with a 16-point lead. Mikal Portalatin with 6, and Taji Slaughter with 2 for Reading High, and their total of 40. Muhlenberg led by Nelson Malave and Michael Miller. Michael Miller again with the fast start, had 8 quick first quarter points, but no points in the second quarter because of the foul trouble. Malave and Miller with 8 apiece. Josh Miller with 4, 2 for Ryan Hutchinson, 2 for Eli Hemming, and there's one of the notated marks. Eli Hemming, Justin Armstrong, 2 players who are combining for about 30 points a game for Muhlenberg, a combined 2 points in 16 minutes.
Yeah, just a wonderful, wonderful defensive effort by the Red Knights. The other thing, Bob, I'm going to mention something. You know, we usually go over the starting lineups with coaches before the game, and you said, to Rick, the same 5, and he says, no, Portalatin is starting instead of Merriweather.
Yep.
Portalatin, I think, set the tone early. He was attacking the glass. He was going after rebounds. I think I have him for 4 or 5 in the first half, but I just think that his intensity kind of set the tone for the Red Knights, the way they're playing defense, the way they're rebounding here in the first half.
One other thing I wanted to make note of at this break and what we saw in the first half. Last year, I couldn't tell you how many different opposing coaches talked about Wesley Rosario's passing ability. Well, I don't know if it came from him, if he learned it from him, but Cameron Jones is right there with him. Cameron Jones did not score a point in the first half, but talk about tossing some dimes around. Cameron Jones was brilliant finding the back behind the Muhlenberg defense.
He was not only brilliant passing, he was outstanding on defense. He's been causing a lot of havoc at the top of that Reading defense, causing the Mules a lot of problems and being one of the chief reasons why the Mules can't drive the ball, especially Justin Armstrong. Cameron Jones is a wonderful two-way player.
How you can affect the game without scoring a point. Cameron Jones has proven that tonight for the Red Knights as they lead it 40-24 as our Lincoln Plumbing and Heating halftime show winds its way down. The start of our second half is presented in part by Financial Planning Advisors. Their team of professional advisors can help guide your investment planning, retirement planning, or planning for the cost of your child's college education. Less than 2% of high school athletes receive a college scholarship. Financial Planning Advisors can help you plan for the increasing costs of college. Get Financial Planning Advisors working on your team. Call them at 610-376-6334 or go to financialpa.com. The Muhlenberg Muhls and the Reading Red Knights, a 40-24 advantage for the Red Knights. And in the understatement of the night, obviously the first 2 minutes, 3 minutes of this first quarter, or third quarter, are going to be everything for Muhlenberg.
Like mine. I was thinking the same thing. That they're going to be critical. I mean, Muhlenberg can score fast. We've seen it. We saw it in the first meeting. They scored 15 points to open the second half, and they did it in a hurry. They're averaging over 64 points a game. So they're not out of this yet. But this first 3-4 minutes of the third quarter are critical for the Mules. They've got to find a way to stabilize. They've got to find a way to go on runs. They haven't been able to do that. I can't count how many times that they've scored back-to-back baskets. I don't think it's more than once or twice this game. So let's see what happens here.
Eli Hemmings Justin Armstrong, Michael Miller, Jeffrey Collado, Nelson Malave, the 5 that started for Matt Flowers. That's who starts here in the third quarter. Again, Miller with 4 personal fouls as the second half starts.
And we also have Jacob and DeCastro with 3 each for Reading.
Malave swings it around for Miller, who drives, dishes it back for Collado through the defense, misses it, gets his own rebound, kicks it out to Hemming. Top of the key, Armstrong for 3, no good. Long rebound. Loose on the floor, Jones up ahead to DeCastro, who leaked out and will score 2.
Another assist by Cameron Jones finds the streaking DeCastro.
42-24. Red Knight lead reaches 18, and now a foul the other side.
I think
Nope,
it's
just
a
stepped
kick.
out of bounds.
Yeah,
I thought the whistle was a foul, but just out of bounds. It'll stay Muhlenberg basketball. 8 now for DeCastro. As the Mules come up empty in their first possession. Here's Miller posting up. Little jumper. That's no good. DeCastro may have gotten a piece of it. Collado and Jacob tie each other up. They'll go to the possession arrow. And it will be Reading High basketball. Cameron Jones, Mikal Portalatin, Justin DeCastro, Wesley Rosario, and Jameer Jacob. That's the same way Rick Perez started this game. And that's the way he starts the third quarter as well. Jones brings Collado, who's guarding him, a long way from the basket. With Jacob underneath, or Jacob in the corner, excuse me. Nobody really posting up down low. Now Jacob does. Jones attacks, dumps it for Jacob, who backs his way in, but a whistle away from it as Portalatin and Armstrong got tied up with one another. The foul's on 0 because they both wear number 0. Which
Looks like it's
0?
Armstrong.
It's number 3 on Armstrong. And they were not involved in the play. They were away from the play, but they ended up on the floor. So Armstrong picks up the foul.
Not sure what happened because I was watching Jacob and Miller to see if Jacob was going to draw a 5th foul on Miller.
Inbounds for Rosario. Fakes the 3. Puts it on the floor. Into traffic and a foul. See which way we're going. He ran into Michael Miller. Is that going to be number 5?
I think it might be
Red
on
Knight.
Collado. Let's see. Yep. 5th foul on Mike Miller.
Yeah, the Red Knight fans knew it. They had already
Yep.
started waving. And Michael Miller fouls out of the game with 6:41 left to go in the third quarter. Matt Flowers livid that Rosario drove into him. And the Red Knights had kind of used this as an unofficial timeout. So the officials are going to come over to calm down Matt Flowers as well as get the teams out on the floor with Rosario at the free throw line.
I thought Wesley got away with an extra step going to the basket before the contact.
And I think that's what Matt Flowers is arguing
Yeah.
with, is that he stepped into what's my guy supposed to do? He's playing defense.
Did he call it T?
He's going to have to soon because they're delaying the game. So it's basically, all I heard was warning. So right now it's just a warning.
And it was clearly the referee, the other official, signaled 10.
So the issue is get Rosario at the free throw line. Because he's going to shoot 2. Fouled in the act. Wesley Rosario shooting for the Red Knights. 2 for 2 at the stripe in the first half. And first rolls off the rim.
Not a good start to the third quarter for Muhlenberg. Collado missed the layup on the first possession, and now Miller picks up his 5th foul. Mules haven't been able to score here in the first minute and 20.
Rosario's season high was 22 early on, first game of the year against Fells Charter. His career high was 28 against Muhlenberg last year. 1 out of 2 here gives him 11 on the night and makes it a 43-24 Red Knight advantage. Mules looking for something here. They had just 11 points in the second quarter, looking for their first points in the third. Malave dumps it inside. Collado up and under and home.
Nice pass by Nelson Malave. Finally gets into the lane. We got a turnover going the other way.
Malave comes up with the steal. And Portalatin steals it right back. Turnover both ways. Malave came up with the steal on one end, and Mikal Portalatin took it right back. 43-26 our score. Rosario with the ball on his hip, out at the circles. 2 minutes in third. Jones right back to Rosario, trying to get by Hemmings. They trap him. They force him to give it up, and Jones will take it himself. Drives into the lane. Floater, no. Josh Miller into the game for Muhlenberg. Comes up with a rebound for the Mules.
Pretty good defense there by Josh Miller.
Here's Armstrong, still looking for his first point. Stripped by Cameron Jones, out of bounds. Last touch by Jones. It'll stay Muhlenberg basketball.
It's like Reading wants it. Rick Perez wants a timeout.
So the Red Knights will call a timeout. We'll take one with them with 5:42 left to go in the third. And Reading high on top, 43-26. Back to Laurel after this on WEEU in Reading.
Hi, I'm Mike Kuhn with Kuhn Funeral Homes. Since 1937, our family has been committed to serving our community. We now have 3 active generations, as I have the honor of working with my father and son. With 5 convenient locations to serve our neighbors, Kuhn Funeral Homes continues to dedicate our family to your family. Thank you for believing in us, and we promise to always be there for you.
Valentine's Day is around the corner. Billy's homemade candies as fresh dipped strawberries, chocolate charcuterie boards, milk and dark chocolate Dubai bars, and more. For that special someone, place your order by calling 610-929-1673. Stop by their location at 4949 Kutztown Road in Temple. Billy's homemade candies open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, Saturdays from 9 to 2. Missing a couple baskets. Armstrong with a 3, Rosario with a field goal in transition. It's actually a 2 by Armstrong. No, I was right the first time.
It was a 3. It was
3, and then the field goal in transition right back for Rosario makes it a 45-29 game.
I don't know if you have time to do a live read in this game. My goodness. While you were doing the read, one of the officials gave Muhlenberg the ball before Reading was fully back on the court, and that allowed Armstrong to hit the open 3.
He's now at the free throw line after Cameron Jones picks up his second foul. And just the first foul against the Red Knights here in period number 3. Armstrong misses the first of 2 free throws. So Armstrong gets his first points of the night on that corner 3 off the inbounds. Second is good. So 1 out of 2 for Armstrong makes it a 45-30 Reading high advantage. Cameron Jones.
Bob, I think now the modest goal for Muhlenberg is to get this into single digits going into the fourth quarter. It's 15 right now.
Jones drives, kicks it back for DeCastro into the corner for Jacob. Along with Portalatin and Rosario, the 5 on the floor right now for the Red Knights. Reading in no hurry right now. 5 minutes to go in the third and a 15-point advantage. Making Muhlenberg chase. They've got 2 point guards on the floor right now in Jones and Rosario. They exchange the pass with one another. Mules in a man-to-man defense, and it's a helping man-to-man. Trapping when they can. Rosario backing down Josh Miller. Up with a shot, no good, but he's fouled.
Yeah, somebody reached in. It was either Collado or Hemmings. It's going to be Collado.
Collado. It's number 1 on Jeffrey Collado. Number 2 on Muhlenberg. And a shooting foul again for Rosario.
Yeah, he was backing Josh Miller in. Did that once in the first half, trying to get the look. He turned, and Collado racked him on the wrist.
So Rosario 3 out of 4 at the foul line tonight, shooting 2 more here and misses the first. Portalatin out. Javon Merriweather checks into the game for the first time for the Red Knights here in the second half. Checked in the first quarter didn't waste a whole lot of time to get himself involved. Came right in, banged a 3, then the next time down, banged a second. As Rosario 1 out of 2 at the line. 4 in the quarter, 14 on the night for Rosario. The lead, they subtracted a point for the Red Knights. And the Reading High fans will not miss that.
They will not miss it. The whole group of them.
Instead of adding a point, they subtracted one.
The foul's going to be on Cameron Jones, his third.
So now the officials are at the scores table to confirm what happened. It was 45-30. Rosario made 1 out of 2.
It should be 46.
Right, and instead of adding 1, they subtracted 1. So now they're going to match up scorebooks again.
Bob, you know this is a pet peeve of mine. It's a tough job if you make it a tough job. That's all I'll say.
I mean, again, it was 45-30 when he was at the foul line.
It should be 46-30.
Yeah. So it's 4 minutes and 32 seconds still remaining in the third quarter.
Which brings me back to memory of the Reading Central York State semifinal game at One Warwick High School.
Yeah,
when,
that was a fun night.
That was a fun night when the scoreboard operator was
we're still,
off, let's just say.
That was 2 years ago, and we're still trying to figure out how Reading High got 2 points scored on them during a timeout. It's one of the great mysteries in life.
It should be 46. And there it is. The
There
board
we
is.
go.
There we go.
Much to the delight of the best part of that was that you can't sneak anything by the Reading High fans.
Oh,
They were right on
question. Oh, boy.
Muhlenberg basketball.
The foul was on 2. Yeah,
Foul was
we
on-
can see it.
Yep.
Yeah, it was on Cameron Jones.
Correct. So that was his second, Reading High's second. Actually, it's Reading High's third now on the scoreboard.
I bring this all up all the time. The PIAA is going to have a shot clock in a few years.
Yep.
Good luck.
Eli Hemmings with the drive. Tough finish at the glass. And now a turnover on the inbounds. Stepped over the end line. It's going to go right back to the Mules. So Eli Hemmings with a strong drive off the glass for just his second field goal. And now on the Red Knight turnover, the Mules get it right back. Armstrong at the foul line. Drives, gets Jacob up in the air and travel with it. Armstrong put on the brakes, but the pivot foot slipped out from under it.
Tried to do a little bit too much.
So the Red Knights will get it right back on another Muhlenberg turnover. Mules extending that defense now. Josh Miller picking up Cameron Jones full court. Back to Rosario with Hemmings guarding him. Still not to the halfway mark of the third quarter. Jacobs drives inside. That's an offensive foul.
Yeah,
Jameer
sure
Jacobs.
is. Great call by the official under the basket.
The elbow right into the chest of Justin Armstrong. Send him to the deck. And might send Jacob to the bench because that's number 4 on Jameer Jacob.
Yep.
He will come out. And into the game for the Red Knights comes the sophomore Rabin Rubio.
Yeah, two of his 4 fouls have come on offensive charges that were very obvious.
We are now finally at the halfway mark of this third quarter. The Red Knights lead is 14 points. Red Knights in a zone here.
It's like a 1-2-2.
Yeah, 1-2-2, 3-2. Malave drives, kicks it out for Armstrong, who then drives himself. Wide open in the corner is Hemmings for 3. No. Still can't find the range from beyond the arc. Jones leaves it up ahead to a leaking out to Castro, who will slam it down.
Again, another assist by Cameron Jones.
48-32, Red Knights. De Castro now in double figures with 10. And Hemmings drives, good feed from Armstrong for 2. 48-34. 6 now for Hemmings.
Mules need to get stops. That's what they've got to do. They've got to get stops to cut into this lead.
3:15 still left in the third. Still a ton of time left to go. A 14-point game. Rosario drives inside. Whistle and a foul.
Look at Josh Miller. Again, Rosario smells blood when he has Josh Miller on his hip.
And they count the bucket.
Yep.
So the bucket by Rosario is good and a 3-point play. Josh Miller picking up his third. Rosario back to the free throw line. Big third quarter for Wesley Rosario. Mentioned it a moment ago, he had a career high 25 against Muhlenberg last year. And misses the free throw. So it's back to a 16-point Red Knight advantage, the same as it was after 2 quarters, with 3 minutes left to go in the third. Hemmings turn around from the elbow of the foul line 2.
Hemmings getting a little more in rhythm on offense and Reading with another break.
Up ahead is De Castro off the glass. No, good hustle by Hutchinson to save possession. Back come the Mules. Malava in the open floor, fouled by Rosario. Rosario wanted to just stop the break, and he did.
Smart, very smart play by Wesley.
It is the 5th foul on the Red Knights, the 2nd on Rosario. So to the line goes Nelson Malave for Muhlenberg.
Don't think anybody called timeout.
No, well, both coaches call players over to the bench, which you can do in the game. You just have to have 2 players underneath for a rebound. And if you're the shooting team, you just have to have somebody at the free throw line. As Malave makes the first. I think the problem was the last time that happened with Rosario there, nobody was in the foul line other than Rosario. So Malave makes the first. He's 2 for 3 at the foul tonight. And we're coming back to the scores table, it appears. I'm not quite sure what the confusion is now. Two minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the third quarter. You're listening to and watching high school basketball on 8:30 a.m. WEEU in Reading. As the scores table is talking something, officials are now trying to take control of this a little bit between themselves, trying to figure out what's going on. But this has to be another discrepancy with the books.
I mean, I have 50-37.
Yeah, because Malave just made the first foul
free
shot.
throw.
But right now the scoreboard still says 50-36. So I'm going to guess that's what's going on again. And they're not going to let him start until they figure this out.
Wow. That's all this night needs without the emotions
that's
running high.
That's the danger zone. That's a great point because
Yes.
that's the danger zone.
You don't need
this is an emotionally charged crowd, and now when you have discrepancies, and this is at least the fourth, if not five times that they've had this between the scorebooks.
And this isn't on the officials. The officials, Jimmy Murray.
No, they're doing their best to try to get them figure this out.
And it's got to be frustrating to them as well.
And it's also just dragging the game on. I mean, this game was fast-paced and back and forth and up and down in the first quarter. And then we started having these issues in the second and third quarter, which is just kind of slowing things down.
It definitely reminds me of the state semifinal 2 years ago. This is crazy.
This is a point.
So I guess it's the team fouls. So they're taking. That's what they did.
They're arguing over the team fouls. Okay. Because it said 5 on the scores on the scorebook, and they just made it a 4. So that
makes
was
sense.
that part of it.
Why the
But they still did not put the point up yet for Malave. They maybe have too far down in the weeds to have put that up yet.
No, I think what happened, Bob, was there were only 14 fouls.
Oh,
on
so
Reading,
he's not shooting.
So that
I got
didn't
you. You're
count.
correct. Right.
That's the score.
So Malave should not have been shooting at the free throw line.
But again, you're like you said, it's the fourth or fifth discrepancy of the night at the scores table.
Inbounds for Jane Perez. You can count that as a 3. Jane Perez quickly hits a 3, his first field goal of the night. Makes it a 50-39 game.
And worked out for Muhlenberg for sure.
So again, that was the issue, that they had the foul as the 5th and putting him on the line, and it should not have been his 5th. So that's what was the issue. Team fouls are at 4 apiece. Rosario with the basketball with 2:20 left to go in the third. Portalatin sets the screen. Rosario goes around it. They leave Portalatin alone. Rosario wrap around it. Rubio wasn't expecting it. Turnover, Red Knights. Muhls looking for a little bit of a bounce here. Inside for Armstrong. Up off the glass. No. Tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Red Knights.
They have a chance to get it into single digits. That's what I said. They needed to do that. A modest goal when they were down 18. Try to get it into single digits going into the fourth quarter.
Last time it was single digits was the end of the first at 21-13. Reading High scored to finish off the first quarter to make it a 10-point game. Inbounds for Hemmings. Before the bucket, a foul.
But it's gonna be going to the line. Hemmings is gonna go to the line to shoot 2.
They just lobbed it into the 6'4" Hemmings, who was matched up against the 5'10" Portalatin. And he made the right call there to commit the foul. Hemmings was hoping for the bucket and the foul. He'll just shoot 2 instead.
Portalatin. And honestly, Bob, that was the right call. He was fouled before the act.
Yep. Hemmings just hoping for a 3-point play. That's what he was lobbying for, but he'll have to earn it at the free throw line. Hemmings at the stripe for the first time tonight. And that's good. Eli Hemmings coming alive here in quarter number 3. Had just 2 points in the first half. Junior averaging 16.4 per game, 7 more here in the third. with a chance for another here at the line. Still 2:02 left to go in this quarter. Huge right now for Muhlenberg.
You mean the third quarter's not over yet?
No, it's not. It's a 9-point game, 50-41. Mules extend 1-2-2.
And the Muhlenberg fans are getting louder as the night goes on.
Hemmings out at the top of that 1-2-2, and there's a
turnover.
Ball out of bounds. Hemming forces it off the leg of Porta Latin. Turnover, Red Knights. Jaden Perez will come back in. Jeffrey Collado out. 1:52 left to go in the third.
Wow.
Mules have it to a 9-point game.
I know we've said it before. These officials are earning their keep
Yes, they
tonight. I do not envy them at all.
Ryan Hutchinson, Eli Hemmings, Nelson Malave, Jaden Perez, Justin Armstrong. Hemmings just trying to take this game over right now for Muhlenberg, and he's going to be at the line to shoot 2 more.
It was so quiet in the first half, had just 2 points, and that's on Porta Latin. I think that's his third, yes.
So Eli Hemmings will go right back to the free throw line where he just made 2 and will shoot 2 more. 6'4" junior with guard skills. He can shoot. He has not shot well from distance tonight, so he's taking his game inside right now and either getting to the bucket or getting to the foul line. And makes another. Collado now will check back in. Matt Flowers going with some offensive and defensive substitutions now with Collado and Perez. Collado back in for his defense with Hemmings at the free throw line. Misses the second, but there's Malave with a tip. No, Hemmings with a tip and another foul.
Yep.
That's going to be on Rosario, I believe. Hemmings is going back to the stripe. But credit Malave for giving the possession alive for the Mules.
Yeah, that's on Rosario, his third. That I watched Malave because he and Rosario, they've been talking a lot, and they former teammates last year. And what Malave did, he backed off and went around Rosario to go to the rim and get the rebound.
So it puts Hemmings right back at the stripe to shoot 2 more.
And all this with the clock stopped.
Yep.
And the lead is down. It was once 18. It is down to 7.
It is 9 straight points now for Muhlenberg with Hemmings at the free throw line for 1 more. And 1:45 still left to go in the third. Jacob back in. Porta Latin out. Second is good.
It's almost like Hemmings just said, wait a minute, I can't let this game go on without me being a factor, and he's been a big factor this quarter.
A 10-0 Muhlenberg run has it a 6-point game. 1:35 left to go in the third. Red Knights can no longer just kind of sit back and wait. Jones drives, dishes for Jacob, gathers, backs down Armstrong. Dumps it inside for Merriweather, blocked by Collado. Loose ball out of bounds. It'll be Red Knight basketball.
What a block by Collado. Came around and swatted that away.
With an emphasis. Jeffrey Collado on the block. Red Knights keep it. Jones inbounds for Jacob. Pulled up foul line, baseline for 2. No.
That's
Rebound by Armstrong.
Shot. That is not his shot. That's out of character for him.
Armstrong for Hutchinson for 3. No. Hemmings and Jones battle jump ball. They'll go to the possession arrow.
It's like Muhlenberg ball.
So the Mules will keep it. Jaden Perez back in for the Mules. Again, offensive, defensive substitutions. They bring Perez in for offense, Collado for defense, and he just showed you why on that block.
Muhlenberg 4 minutes ago looked so listless and so just wide, and then Eli Hemmings took over.
Inbounds play right into a sea of Red Knights is turned over. They forced that inbounds pass, and they turned it over in the open floor to Castro. Up, under, and home.
Oh, what a move by De Castro. Went to his right and put the ball in his left hand and scooped it in.
Ends the 10-0 Muhlenberg run, makes it a 52-44 game with 45 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Armstrong off the Perez screen. Pull-up jumper, no. Mules looking for a foul. They don't get a whistle. Red Knights have the ball. 35 left to go in the third. Rosario across half court. If Rick Perez has his way, they'll hold for 1 here to finish the third. It's now 25 seconds left in it. In the hands of Jones, a long way from the basket, and 20 seconds in the quarter. Hutchinson poked it away. Mules have it back with 12. Up ahead for Hemmings. Spins. Blocked by Rosario. Saved by Hutchinson. Armstrong turns down to 3. Goes inside for 2. Nobody's fouled. Reading High turned it over. Muhlenberg is going to be at the line with Justin Armstrong shooting 2.
Trying to play for one, hold for one shot, and really it looked like they were going to do it. And all of a sudden, somebody swatted the ball away from Cameron Jones. Turnover, and now Armstrong at the line has a chance to make this a 6-point game.
Well, it's never a clinic when these two teams meet,
No.
but it sure is 32 minutes of fun. Armstrong shooting 2. This is the first. 1 out of 3 at the stripe now for Justin Armstrong with another one coming. 4.1 left in the third for one of these two teams to try to score a point before the end of the quarter. Matt Flowers will give Eli Hemmings a little bit of a breather at the end of this quarter and at the break. Second free throw by Armstrong is good. 5 points on the night for Armstrong. 4 seconds for the Red Knights to get a shot off. DeCastro from just across half court. Good if it goes. It does not. We've got 8 minutes left to go in round 2 of the heavyweight fight. That is the Reading Red Knights, the Muhlenberg Mules. After 3, Reading 52, Muhlenberg 45. Back with the final 8 after this on WEEU in Reading.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's Kettle Chips. Legend has it, Mark Diefenbach loved kettle cooked chips so much, he turned his Berks County kitchen into the ultimate snack factory. Now, over 60 years later, we're still making that delicious PA crafted crunch with the same passion and quality right where it all began. So crunch into some flavorful Diefenbach's Kettle Chips today and snack on a delicious tradition.
Looking for the best pizza in Berks? Come to Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, located along Richmond Street in Reading. Whether grabbing a pie to share before the game, getting delivery for the team, or you're looking for a real Italian dining experience in a grotto-style restaurant, put Nino's on the top of your roster. As the official pizza of WEEU's Slice of Sports, Nino's knows how to feed athletes and the rest of your crew. Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, 515 Richmond Street. Call 610-921-2300 or visit ninosristorante.com.
The free throw line beneficial for the Mules in that third period. They outscored Reading High 22-12 as we get set to start quarter number 4. Muhlenberg once down by as many as 19 points in this game, now down by 7 as we start the fourth alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool.
Well, Rick Perez said one of the keys for the game tonight for the Red Knights was to protect the basketball, limit turnovers. They had 23 in the first meeting. Right now, they've got 16.
Red Knights with the basketball to start the fourth. Justin DeCastro, Cameron Jones, Jameer Jacob, Javon Merriweather, and Michael Portalat, the 5 on the floor for the Red Knights. Man-to-man defense for Muhlenberg. Hutchinson guarding Cameron Jones out near half court. Who gives it up for Merriweather. Eli Hemmings, Ryan Hutchinson, Justin Armstrong, Jeffrey Collado, Nelson Malave, the 5 on the floor for the Mules. Michael Miller fouled out early in the third quarter for Muhlenberg. Jones flips it around. Dangerous pass to DeCastro. Trying to drive on Malave. Kicks it back for Merriweather. Crossover by the sophomore. Can't get the shot off with the long arms of Eli Hemmings around it. Jones gets tied up by Hutchinson. Gets it free. Gets it to DeCastro, who dumps it for Jacob, who goes inside and is fouled. Very good ball movement eventually by Reading High after it got tangled up. And DeCastro had a shot, gave it up inside for Jacob, who's going to the free throw line.
I got to say, Malave really, earlier in that possession, did a heck of a job keeping DeCastro from getting to the basket. Just outstanding defense.
Jameer Jacob with 8 points on the night as he steps to the free throw line for the second time, 2 for 2 the first time around. This is on the first. Jacob on the season, 11 for 17 now at the stripe. Portalatin back in for the Red Knights, Wesley Rosario to the bench as Jacob makes the second. 9 points for Jameer Jacob. The lead is 8. 53-45 as the Red Knights get the first point of the fourth quarter. Extend the defense out to half court. Armstrong for Malave. Skip pass for Perez in the corner. Spots up for three. High arcing shot. And gets the bottom.
If you leave Jaden Perez alone, he's going to make that.
Like a World B free shot from the corner for Perez.
Yeah,
high arcer.
That was a hang time. There were punts that have had shorter hang times than that.
Cuts it to a 5-point game and a timeout Reading High. Comes with 6:46 left to go. Rick Perez sees his senior son hit a three on the other end to get the Mules to within 5. We will be back to Lauraldale with the score. Reading 53, Muhlenberg 48. Back with more after this.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all. From residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
The good folks at Billy's Candies would remind you Valentine's Day is around the corner, and Billy's Homemade Candies has fresh dipped strawberries, chocolate charcuterie boards, milk and dark chocolate Dubai bars, and more for that special someone. Place your order by calling at 610-929-1673. Stop by their location. It's at 4949 Kutztown Road in Temple. Billy's Homemade Candies open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and Saturdays from 9 to 2. Speaking of Valentine's Day, that's right after the Berks County Finals will be at Santander Arena for the BCIAA semifinals on Wednesday the 11th for the quadruple header. 2 girls semifinals, 2 boys semifinals. The championship night is Friday the 13th of February, the girls championship and then the boys championship. And we'll have it all for you both here on the radio and our free video stream as well on our YouTube channel, 830 WEEU Sports. Red Knights after the timeout. DeCastro inside of Portalatin, partially blocked from behind. Mules have it back. Muhlenberg down by 5.
Hemmings with the block and the rebound.
Perez finds Hutchinson underneath for an easy 2. Great find by Jaden Perez. It's a 3-point game.
Might have a delay of game call here. Wait, let's see what happens.
Hutchinson put the ball down on the floor. They're calling a technical foul on him.
Yep, Hutchinson with a technical foul. I didn't see what happened, but he must have taunted.
So they'll put Merriweather at the free throw line to shoot the technicals. Merriweather a 71% free throws. Nope. Are they going to call DeCastro over? They're going to call DeCastro over instead to shoot the foul technicals.
Sure, but I'm going to guess because we were marking down his basket. It had to be a taunting call.
Yep. So DeCastro at the free throw line. He's a 75% free throw shooter. He makes the first with another coming. First time at the free throw line tonight for Justin DeCastro.
Let's mark that down, Bob. Hutchinson's basket cut it to 53-50 with 6:29 left.
And DeCastro makes the 2, and now the Red Knights get the basketball. So that nullifies that bucket, in theory, on the scoreboard. But now the Red Knights get the ball back, and they back up to a 5-point advantage. Portalatin out, Rosario back in for Reading High. Tajay Slaughter also into the game for the Red Knights. So it's Rosario, Jones, Slaughter, Merriweather, and Jacob, DeCastro, the 5 on the floor right now for Reading High. 6:20 left to go in the ballgame. Reading's on top, 55-50. Jones trying to work his way a little closer. Tried to force it down low, taken away by Malave.
Taking care of the basketball. The Red Knights haven't done a good job of that in the second half.
Taken back by DeCastro. Took it away. Up at the other end on a 2-on-1. DeCastro to the rim. No, they're going to wave it off. Offensive foul, Justin DeCastro.
And that's his 4th.
They got to get him settled down as well as he started moving right towards the official.
Yeah, they're going to need him. They got. There's a lot of time left in this game, and he's got 4 fouls. And that, if he kept at it, he might have gotten his 5th with a technical.
Jacob going to come back in, Slaughter out. Muhlenberg's going to get the ball back after the offensive foul on Justin DeCastro.
Muhls dodged 2 bullets there. Reading had a chance for a 4 or 5 point play. They didn't get it. And then DeCastro had a breakaway, and he got called for the charge.
Armstrong off the Perez screen. Top of the key for 3. No. Rebounded in traffic by Rosario. Quickly up ahead for DeCastro. To the corner for Jacob. Skip pass for Jones. Fakes, drives, off the glass. No, but a foul. Jaden Perez will get whistled for the foul. They're going to put Cameron Jones at the line for Reading High, looking for his first points of the night. Sophomore will shoot 2.
Cameron Jones had a wonderful first half, and he had a really nice dime early in the third quarter, gave him 5 assists. He struggled a little bit. He's not protecting the basketball as well as he did earlier in the game.
72% free throw shooter out on the season. First, good. Reading High led this game early third quarter, 43-24. It's now a 7-point advantage at 57-50 after the 2 for 2, but we still have 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the ballgame. Armstrong, Hemmings, Perez, Malave, and Hutchison on the floor right now for Muhlenberg.
Rosario now guarding Hemmings. Hemmings is going to try to free up here.
In the corner. As Rich said, Rosario guards him. He'll pop for 3. No. Weak side tipped by Malave, out of bounds. Reading High basketball. So the outside shot just not happening tonight for Eli Hemmings. He did a good job to adjust and go in the paint in the third quarter, ended up at the foul line a lot. Red Knights right back in the hands of Cameron Jones. And the beauty of having both the senior point guard in Rosario and now the incoming sophomore point guard in Jones now has the basketball. Drives in the paint, left him open for the scoop, but he missed it. Flying in to get it is Jacob. Shot blocked by Hutchinson. Right back up goes Jacob. That's no good. Malave pulls it out of the pack. A 3-on-2. Hemmings, skies, no good. Rebounded by Jones. Back the other way comes DeCastro. Blocked by Hutchinson. DeCastro picks it back up again. Skip pass for Merriweather. Trying to clear space. Up with a shot. No good. Rebounded by Hemming. Back the other way comes Muhlenberg. Lots of looks, no buckets. Still a 57-50 Reading High game. Armstrong off the screen. Drives inside. Wraparound pass. Hutchinson missed it. And fouls on the rebound. Rosario came away with it. Hutchinson fouled him. Great look by Armstrong, but Hutchinson could not finish. So the foul on Hutchinson will give it back to the Red Knights. Not a shooting foul, just the first foul on the Mules here in the quarter. Merriweather across half court for Rosario. Mules have to scamper back on defense. Rosario stops, drives, and scores on the score.
Saw the opening. Rosario with the right hand on the left side.
18 for Wesley Rosario. It's a 9-point Red Knight advantage. Malave for 3. That's short. Tipped around and right back to Merriweather. Merriweather pulls it away. Up ahead for DeCastro. Yes, and a foul.
Oh. Could have been basket interference.
Yeah, Jacob was up near the rim. They're going to talk about that.
Let's see what the call. No
wave
basket.
Off the basket.
There'll be a foul, though.
Matt Flowers was hoping that they were waving off the basket. He was going to get the ball. That's not going to be the case. There was definitely a foul on the play. As the ball was on the rim, Jameer Jacob interfered with the ball on the rim. So the bucket is no good. And as a result of that, DeCastro then should be shooting 2. He is.
Fouls on Jaden Perez, his third. Again, Bob, I marked it down. 6:29 left. Hutchinson scored that layup to make it 53-50. Muhlenberg hasn't scored since.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. 3 minutes, 44 seconds still left to go here in Laureldale. It's a 10-point game with Reading High at the free throw line when we come back after this on WEEU and Reading.
UECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business, and we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
Redner's Markets makes grocery shopping more convenient with Redner's Ready. Shop online and place your order as far as 4 days ahead or as little as 2 hours before pickup at your selected store. Our personal shoppers handpick your items and accommodate any personal instructions for your grocery needs. There's no difference between in-store and online pricing and no extra cost for pickup. And you can even have your order delivered by DoorDash for a small fee. Skip the trip with Redner's Ready. Shop online at rednersmarkets.com.
3 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the ball game. Reading High's lead is 10, but Justin DeCastro is at the free throw line with yet another free throw coming his way. Reminder coming up on Monday night, more high school basketball scheduled for you. We're supposed to have the Governor Mifflin girls, the Wilson Bulldogs in West Lawn on Monday. Obviously, all that weather dependent. Tuesday, we're scheduled to be at Lloyd Wolf Gymnasium for these Reading Red Knights against Berks Catholic. Then the Red Knights will finish out the week at Wilson a week from Friday. DeCastro 2 for 2 at the free throw line, 4 for 4 in the quarter, 16 points for DeCastro. Back up to a double-digit Reading High lead at 61-50. Malave drives. Malave with the left hand, no, but he's fouled.
Wow, I think the score is wrong. I think it's 60-50. Again.
Now, he made 2 free throws. I got 61-50.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay.
Now some Malave at the free throw line.
I'm losing my mind.
Could be understandable in this scenario.
But this is trying to end a 3-minute stretch. Yes, Malave makes the first. That was their first point in almost 3 minutes for the Mules.
Malave with that first free throw in double figures for the 10th time this season, and this the 18th game of the season for the Mules. And a 2 for 2 here. 11 for Malave. The lead is 9. 61-52. Reading High on top. And the Mules now extending it out. Three-quarter court. Jones across half court for DeCastro. Along with Rosario, Jacob, and Merriweather. The 5 on the floor for Rick Perez's Red Knights.
I'm a little surprised that Matt Flowers hasn't gone offense-defense with Jaden Perez and Jeffrey Collado.
Rosario to the baseline for Jacob, who wasn't expecting it. And the Red Knights turn it over again. So the Mules will get it right back. Malave, Armstrong, Perez, Hemmings, and Josh Miller, the 5 on the floor for Muhlenberg. Malave off the screen up high. Trying to go after DeCastro. Kicks it, Armstrong, corner 3. Yes!
Big one. Big shot by the Armstrong, by the point guard.
Justin Armstrong has hit 2 threes in a game from each corner. And the Mules, as a result, are within 6 at 61-55 with 2:45 left to go. Reading High with the basketball. Rosario says, don't worry, I got this, boys. I got the ball at half court. Hemmings is guarding him. He goes by him and fouls him.
On the floor.
Rosario put on the brakes. Eli Hemmings runs into it. That's his first. Over the limit are the Mules, so Rosario will shoot 2.
Yeah, it's on Hemmings.
Yep.
And it's a bonus, so it's 2 shots.
Yep, 5 fouls. That's the 5th foul, so Rosario will shoot 2. Senior point guard knew it. He knew he had Eli Hemmings on his hip, so he just got to put on the brakes. He runs into him. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Makes the first. 19 now for Wesley Rosario. Again, his season high is 22. That was in the season opener against Fells Charter.
He had 20 in the first meeting between these two teams.
Could match that with this free throw. And he does. Gets the friendly roll. 63-55 our score. Red Knights on top. Mules with a basketball. Armstrong, skip pass for Perez. One more corner 3 for Josh Miller. In and out. Good rebound by DeCastro. Keeps Hemmings off the offensive glass. Pushes it up the floor. Skips it back for Rosario. 2:20 left to go. Cameron Jones trying to get by Armstrong, gives it back for DeCastro. Red Knights, and he fouled by Muhlenberg, puts Reading on the free throw line. DeCastro seeing it's daylight, drives inside. There's the travel beforehand. Good help defensively by Jaden Perez, made DeCastro, hesitate for a moment, calls the travel.
Turnover number 20 for Reading High, yet the Red Knights lead by 8.
With exactly 2 minutes left to go in the ballgame. Again, the Red Knights extending it 1-2-2 half court, and Malave just airmailed it into the cheerleaders.
He was looking for Jaden Perez in the corner, and he missed him by about 5 or 6 feet.
Raymond Rubio out. Jameer Jacob in. Red Knights get it right back after the Muhlenberg turnover. Rosario across half court, sees an opening, and a foul by Josh Miller is going to put him on the line. Again, Rosario beating his man off the dribble.
Yeah.
And then the Mules are fouling him.
Yeah, in fairness to Josh Miller, he's just not quick enough to guard Wesley Rosario. It's not lack of effort or anything, but he just isn't quick enough. And Rosario knows that, and he's taking advantage of it.
So he's back at the free throw line as Josh Miller picks up his 4th foul. Rosario right back to the stripe to shoot 2 more. First is good. 4 straight now at the free throw line for Rosario. Seven for 9 on the night at the stripe.
The Kalik Weaver in the game for the first time.
It is. Senior coming in. As Rosario makes them both. 65-55. Back up to a double-digit Reading High lead. Miller inside for Hemmings. Up off the glass, yes. First points of the 4th quarter for Eli Hemmings is going to lead us to a timeout on the floor. With the Muhlenberg Mules trailing the Reading High Red Knights by 8, 65-57. Red Knights on top, back to Lauderdale with more after this on WEEU in Reading.
Noisy, squeaky, or uneven garage doors? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening or closing? Get a garage door tune-up now from Overhead Door Reading. For just $99, we'll inspect, lubricate, and adjust your garage doors so they run smoothly and quietly. Don't get stuck in the driveway this winter. Call today and ask for our tune-up special. Serving the community since 1965. Overhead Door Reading. We're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
Spots Insurance Group is a proud sponsor of Berks County sports. We're an award-winning nationwide agency you can trust, insuring what means most to you for over 32 years. We specialize in auto, home, renters, business, and life insurance. Remember, when you think insurance, think Spots. Visit us at spotsforinsurance.com. That's SPOTTS, 4, insurance.com.
1:35 left to go here in Lauderdale. Rich with a score update from Rifton.
It's a really big, important game, a crossover game. The Wilson Bulldogs defeated the Exeter Eagles 55-51. Corell Akings with 13 points for the Bulldogs. That is a big win for the Bulldogs.
Red Knights quickly push it up the floor with Rosario having the basketball and then fouled. He's going to go back to the free throw line again.
Yep.
Rosario making a living at the stripe tonight. Due to the length of tonight's game, it will not be a scoreboard show for you tonight. Hopefully there'll be a morning show for you tomorrow. Just saying. 1:29 left to go in this one.
Yeah, we're putting in a full shift here at Muhlenberg High School.
We are indeed. With Rosario at the free throw line for 2 more. 7 in a row now for Wesley Rosario. 6 in a row now for Rosario at the free throw line.
So, Bob, if Reading holds on here with 1:29 left, up 9, Muhlenberg will fall into a second-place tie with the Red Knights. They'll have 2 league losses apiece. That will give Berks Catholic undisputed possession of first place with 1 loss, and then Wilson on the fringe with 3 league losses.
And a matchup on Tuesday at Wolf Gymnasium between Reading and Berks Catholic. We'll have that one for you here on WEU. We'll have a video stream only beginning at around 6:30 because the JV game that night starts at 5. Minute and a half left to go after Rosario's 2 for 2. It's back up to a 10-point Reading High lead. Turnover for the Mules. Up ahead on the run out is DeCastro, and he'll score 2 more. Maybe the icing on the cake for the Reading Red Knights after a turnover. 69-57, and now a foul called by Kalik Weaver. Going for a steal fouls. They have fouls to give, but not really something you want to do.
Well, why not make the game longer?
Yeah, well,
there's
that.
Since we're here.
1:14 left to go. If you're Reading High now, you're just playing good defense. No reason to foul. Inbounds on the lob for Hemmings off the inbounds play. Hemmings, yes, and he's fouled.
Looks like it's going to be on Merriweather, and he's just got to learn to back off there. Let Hemmings score and keep the clock running.
Yep, and if you were playing defense, you'd guard the 3 and give up the 2, which is what you can do if you're inside. But by fouling him, now it's a chance for Hemmings to get a 3-point play.
With the clock stopped.
Correct. And stops with 1:11 left to go. Reading High substituting in and out. Weaver and Portalatin out. Jones and Jacob back in.
Bob, I think the underlying story here is how much improved the Red Knights are since that first meeting in December.
Hemmings misses the free throw, gets his own rebound, and gets fouled again.
Makes no sense why they're fouling.
And that's on Merriweather as well.
But to go back to my point, Reading has made just tremendous strides in the last month, and they will be a factor in the Berks County playoffs and the District 3 6A playoffs. Make no mistake about it.
It's number 5 on Javon Merriweather, so his night is finished. Got off to a fast start, came into off the bench, hit a couple of threes. Sophomore had another field goal in the second quarter, did not score in the second half, so he finishes the night with 8, but fouls out here. So Rick Perez will use this time. He has about 30 seconds or so to get a sub into the game. That sub will be Kalik Weaver, who will check back in with Eli Hemmings at the free throw line for Muhlenberg. 1:09 left to go in this game. Mules deficit is 10, pending the free throw coming up here from Hemmings.
I have Wesley Rosario for 24 points. Is that what you have?
That is correct. Hemmings makes the free throw. Gets another. It's 18 now for Hemmings. And 19. And it's an 8-point game, 69-61. 1:09 to go. Mules picking up full court man-to-man. Jones for DeCastro. Trapped, needs help, steps between the double team. Still looking for help. Hemmings poked it away, but Muhlenberg will throw it away. Malave wanted to kick it to Armstrong, who headed to the corner. Malave imploring that Reading High touched it. But the Red Knights are going to get the basketball. Outlet pass as Rosario leaks out, has to save it. Back to Jacob, could not control it. Stepped on the end line, and Jacob is shaken up. Landed on his hip when he tried to save the basketball. It's going to be Muhlenberg's ball.
Reading committed 23 turnovers in the first game. That was number 22. And yet they lead by 8.
They quickly inbounded the ball. Cameron Jones, as Rosario leaked out. Jones threw it up the floor, but threw it too far. Rosario had to chase it down and tried to save it. Jacob tried to do the same, but when he did so, he landed on his hip. So he's shaken up right now with exactly 1 minute left to go. And Jameer Jacob shaken up for the Red Knights. So Portalatin, it looks like, will come back in now for Reading High. So Rick Perez will have a little bit more experience on the floor with a couple of seniors, although both Weaver and Portalatin did not play for Reading High a season ago. But they are both seniors, along with the senior in Rosario, junior in DeCastro, and the sophomore in Cameron Jones. Jacob now sitting up. Fans here at Muhlenberg giving him a round of applause. Again, landed on the right hip. It will be Muhlenberg basketball with a minute to go, and the Red Knights are on top, 69-61. Malave, Armstrong, Perez, Josh Miller, and Hemmings on the floor. Malave and Cameron Jones just reached in and fouled it. They did the deal where they rolled it on the floor, and Cameron Jones reached in and fouled it.
And this is what Rick Perez has talked about, how they've been playing smarter basketball. That they have not played smart ball here in the last minute, not at all.
And so that puts Malave at the free throw line. This is exactly what you want if you're Muhlenberg.
Absolutely.
Stops the clock, puts Malave at the free throw line to shoot 2. He misses the first.
Muhlenberg is not a good free throw shooting team, just a shade under 56%.
Ryan Hutchinson will check back into the game now for Muhlenberg. With Malave at the free throw line, second is also no good. We're going to lane violation on the shot. I think they're going to give him another one.
Yep.
No, it's going to be on Muhlenberg.
It was against Malave.
From Muhlenberg, they wave it off, and so the Red Knights will get the ball. 59 seconds to go. Reading High has it. Muhlenberg, of course, picking up full court. Inbounds for Rosario. Beats the trap, gives it up for Jones. Right back for Rosario. Pushes it up the floor, across the line, dribbled off his foot, picks it up. And around for Jones. Inside of 50 seconds to go. Rosario fouled by Hemmings.
Yeah, they couldn't waste more time. They couldn't let more time go off the clock. They had to foul somebody, and the ball was either in the hands of Rosario or Jones, and both of them are very good free throw shooters.
Rosario at the line again. This will be the 13th and 14th free throw of the night for Wesley Rosario.
Bob, it's something we didn't talk about, but both of these teams get to the line a lot. And after seeing them play often this year, we can understand why.
Rosario misses the first of 2. Just new season high for Rosario tonight with 24. Again, 4 shy of his career high, which came last year against the Mules. He's missed them both. The Red Knights keeping Muhlenberg in this. 8-point difference. Armstrong up ahead for Hemmings. They lay off and let him get the bucket. That'll get Matt Flowers a timeout with 40.7 seconds left to go.
And that's his last timeout.
So the final timeout used by the Mules comes with 40.7 left to go. Rich said Muhlenberg out of timeouts. Reading High still has 2 timeouts left if they need it.
Rosario had just made 6 in a row in the fourth quarter, and I would have put my money on him making those 2, and he missed them both. Reading has done everything it can to allow Muhlenberg back in this game here in the last minute and change. Just sloppy ball handling, undisciplined fouls. You can name it, go down the list, because this game should have been put away long ago.
When it finally does end, we'll have our Pizza Coma Temple post-game show. Rich will be down on the floor with our winning coach and our Reading Fighting Phil's player of the game. We'll also have our Celebration Villa of Exeter play of the game as well. 40.7 left to go in this one. 69-63 our score. Reading High on top. Reading High with the basketball.
Bob, in another score in a Division I game, we didn't mention it, but Berks Catholic took care of business, defeated Governor Mifflin 64-33. Kingston McCoy with another 22 points.
So if this score holds, Berks Catholic will be alone in first place with just the 1 loss. It came to against Reading High. You heard it and saw it here on WEEU as part of the Red Knight Holiday Tournament. And that's going to be another foul on Muhlenberg, and it's number 5.
On Armstrong.
On Justin Armstrong. So Armstrong fouls out with 8 points on the night. Michael Miller had fouled out long ago with 8 points for Muhlenberg. So 2 of Matt Flowers' starters now have fouled out of this game. One of Reading High's top 6, Javon Merriweather, has fouled out as well.
Well, I mean, some scores of other games in Berks County. Hamburg 60, Topahaken 58. We have, scrolling through here, we have Wilson 55, Exeter 51 we mentioned earlier. Schuylkill Valley 55, Fleetwood 44.
Big win for Wyomissing earlier this week,
Yes.
beating Schuylkill Valley in a battle for Division III. Big win for the Wyomissing girls as well over Schuylkill Valley. It gave Schuylkill Valley their first loss in division play in Girls League Division III. Castro at the free throw line for Reading High makes another. He is 5 for 5 at the stripe in this quarter. $19 for DeCastro. Another one here would give him his 10th 20-point game of the year, and he has it. 71-63. 35 seconds to go. Malave up the floor for Josh Miller. Trying to pull the trigger on a three. Gives it back to Malave. Around for Perez. He'll pull the trigger. Got it. Jane Perez with his third three of the game. 71-66. 20 seconds to go and a foul.
Hemmings had a foul. Fouled Rosario.
So back to the line. It's either been Rosario or DeCastro at the free throw line for the Red Knights here. Rosario just missed his last two.
You know, how many times have we mentioned these are two 32-minute teams, 20 seconds left, and neither one is – Muhlenberg has not given up. They have not – they just keep coming.
Point number 5 for 25, Wesley Rosario, and another free throw coming his way. Makes it a 6-point advantage, and obviously this one would make this a three-possession game. And he makes it. 73-66 our score. Red Knights should not foul here. Here's Josh Miller for three. That's no good. Hemmings with the putback is good. 10 seconds left to go. And a foul on the inbounds as Cameron Jones is knocked to the ground. Ryan Hutchinson just knocked Cameron Jones to the ground. It's an intentional foul.
Yep, and that should do it. And Matt Flowers is not happy.
No. I mean, it's just, you just, whatever chance you had, you just took it away.
Yeah.
Because now it's an intentional foul. It's 2 shots and the ball.
Mistake by a sophomore. Not only there, but
the ball wasn't even in bounds. He just pushed him before the ball was even in bounds.
But the taunting foul
Right.
early in the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, or early in the fourth quarter. It seems like early in the second half, but it was early in the fourth quarter.
So Cameron Jones will shoot the 2 for the tee. This is the first. 9.8 is what's left on the clock.
I think it's past both our bedtimes. Folks, if you ever go to a Reading Muhlenberg game, make sure you pack a lunch.
Jones misses them both. But the Red Knights will get the ball now at half court on the intentional foul. Actually, they're going to get it on the far end of the court, not at half court. So with 9.8 left in a 5-point Reading High game, Red Knights will get the ball. Hutchinson out and Collado in. Inbound for DeCastro. Try to reach in, commit the foul. Stops the clock with 8.4. DeCastro will shoot 2 more. $20 points for Justin DeCastro as he's at the free throw line. Misses the first.
I think they're leg weary.
Could be.
Really, could be.
Lots of free throws in this fourth quarter.
And these guys all 3 of them are really good free throw shooters.
Correct.
Jones, DeCastro, and Rosario.
So another one coming up here for DeCastro. Does make that one. 21 for DeCastro. Makes it a 6-point game. 8.4 left. Cross half court. Josh Miller for Perez for another 3. That's no good. And that one will finally bring this one to an end. The Reading High Red Knights win round 2. After Muhlenberg wins at the Geigel, the Red Knights respond with a win here in Laureldale. The final score, Reading 74, Muhlenberg 68. We will take a timeout. Back with our postgame show after this on WEEU in Reading.
Your house needs to handle those frigid temperatures all season long. Keith HVAC, Electrical, and Plumbing has been keeping homes and businesses running smoothly every winter for the past 30 years. Plumbing, electric, and heating systems work extra hard while it's cold. So let Keith keep you comfortable.
Quality you trust, comfort you deserve. Call 610-589-6461 or visit KeithHVAC.com. Get Keith HVAC, Electrical, and Plumbing. You can't avoid the cold weather, but your home stays warm thanks to Keith.
What if you could have more Mike?
We had a calamity.
More Bob.
Am I going to remember this tomorrow?
More local voices.
You two really complement each other, and it makes for the great show.
And more of what you love in the morning.
Tell me more.
WEEU fans, we heard you loud and clear. So now you can hear Mornings with Mike from 6 to 10, followed by feedback from 10 to noon. More local voices, more conversation, and more of everything you love in the mornings. Right here on 830 WEEU, the voice of Berks and Beyond.
Updating your furniture and appliances? The Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County can help. The Restore offers free pickup of your gently used furniture and appliances from your Berks County home. We offer convenient scheduling for our free pickups through our website, restoreberks.org. Located at 5370 Allentown Pike in Temple, the Restore is open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays through Saturdays. You might just find that special thing to tie the room together at the Restore. Support your community with your donation to the Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
Looking for the best pizza in Berks? Come to Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, located along Richmond Street in Reading. Whether grabbing a pie to share before the game, getting delivery for the team, or you're looking for a real Italian dining experience in a grotto-style restaurant, put Nino's on the top of your roster. As the official pizza of WEEU's Slice of Sports, Nino's knows how to feed athletes and the rest of your crew. Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, 515 Richmond Street. Call 610-921-2300 or visit ninosristorante.com.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all, from residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
Valentine's Day is around the corner. Billy's Homemade Candies has fresh dipped strawberries, chocolate charcuterie boards, milk and dark chocolate Dubai bars, and more for that special someone. Place your order by calling 610-929-1673 or stop by their location at 4949 Kutztown Road in Temple. Billy's Homemade Candies open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, Saturdays from 9 to 2. Welcome to our Pizza Como Temple postgame show. Pizza Como is a family-owned business going strong on a Fifth Street Highway for over 50 years, serving the finest Italian dishes, Berks County's best variety of Italian sandwiches, and legendary pizza. Right next door is the Yard, a virtual golf experience to keep your game sharp all year round. And if you love sports cars and memorabilia, stop in to buy, sell, or trade. Pizza Como and the Yard, 4600 Fifth Street Highway in Temple. Well, unfortunately, during the end of the game with the two teams going across and doing the handshake line, self-control not an issue tonight, as they just could not contain themselves, and it got a little ugly, a lot of pushing and shoving, and no punches were thrown or any of that kind of stuff, just a little bit of an ugly scenario of people in each other's face, and the security came in to separate everybody, but they pushed all the players into the locker room to keep everybody separated from one another, and so that's right now where they are. Rich Garcella is down the floor, so hopefully he'll get the opportunity to talk with Rick Perez, the game-winning coach, and our player of the game, Wesley Rosario, who finishes with a game-high 26 for the Red Knights. Tonight's player of the game is brought to you by the Reading Fight Phils and their all-new Redners Event Center at First Energy Stadium. The R-Phils remind you to have your next sports team banquet in the R-Phils all-new Redners Event Center banquet and meeting facility at First Energy Stadium. Whether it's a sports banquet, a wedding, a corporate meeting, or event, or any charity fundraiser dinner, the number one place for events in Berks County for groups of 40 to 1,000 is the all-new Redners Event Center at the R-Phils. Go to rphils.com/events for more information. So again, the Reading High Red Knights with the victory tonight over Muhlenberg by a final score of 74-68 when it was all said and done. And so again, we'll see if in fact Rich will be able to get an interview with Rick Perez. He may just kind of stay in the locker room with his kids just to try to keep everything settled down. But there was some stuff going on between these two teams, and you can kind of see it coming. It happens pretty much all the time when these two teams are going head-to-head with one another, and it's also involving some of the fans, and some of the fans got involved as well. And so, unfortunately, they were able to keep everybody kind of cleared out for the most part, but some people just cannot contain themselves regardless. You still have a couple of fans here and there who are still being restrained in some way or another, but it should not put a damper on what was an intense game. And as usual, it comes down to the very end with these two teams, with Reading coming on top 74-68. So it really starts to jam up Division I of the Berks Boys Conference as well with the Red Knights win tonight. That will put them at a tie now with Muhlenberg, both at 7-2 in the division. And as Rich told you earlier, Berks Catholic with a win tonight over Governor Mifflin. So the Saints will stay in first place in Division I with that one loss so far tonight, with the Red Knights coming to Lloyd Wolf Gymnasium on Tuesday. Again, we are scheduled to have that game for you. Scheduled to have a game for you on Monday with the Governor Mifflin Mustangs and the Wilson Bulldogs at Wilson in girls basketball. And then ultimately, hopefully having these other game on Tuesday with the Red Knights and the Saints, and then finish up next week on Friday night with Wilson at hosting Reading High. So a lot still left to be determined in Division I of the Berks Boys Conference, and ultimately how things will shake themselves out into the Berks County playoffs as well. So 74-68 victory tonight for Reading High over Muhlenberg. We're going to take a quick timeout, and hopefully when we come back, Rich Garcella will have Rick Perez down on the floor after this.
Your house needs to handle those frigid temperatures all season long. Keith HVAC, Electrical, and Plumbing has been keeping homes and businesses running smoothly every winter for the past 30 years. Plumbing, electric, and heating systems work extra hard while it's cold. So let Keith keep you comfortable.
Quality, trust, comfort you deserve. Call 610-589-6461 or visit KeithHVAC.com. Get Keith HVAC, Electrical, and Plumbing. You can't avoid the cold weather, but your home stays warm thanks to Keith.
Redner's Markets makes grocery shopping more convenient with Redner's Ready. Shop online and place your order as far as 4 days ahead or as little as 2 hours before pickup at your selected store. Our personal shoppers handpick your items and accommodate any personal instructions for your grocery needs. There's no difference between in-store and online pricing and no extra cost for pickup. And you can even have your order delivered by DoorDash for a small fee. Skip the trip with Redner's Ready. Shop online at rednersmarkets.com.
Noisy, squeaky, or uneven garage doors? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening or closing? Get a garage door tune-up now from Overhead Door Reading. For just $99, we'll inspect, lubricate, and adjust your garage doors so they run smoothly and quietly. Don't get stuck in the driveway this winter. Call today and ask for our tune-up special. Serving the community since 1965. Overhead Door Reading. We're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
Tonight's play of the game brought to you by Celebration Villa of Exeter. Celebration Villa of Exeter offers a community in the community you love. Sign up by the end of the month of January, and February is rent-free at Celebration Villa of Exeter. To book a tour or have a conversation, just reach out, contact Natalie. Celebration Villa of Exeter to be a part of the community. Well, it was pretty early in the game for our play of the game tonight, but it was pretty fun when it all happened. Again, this game started out very much back and forth. There were 7 different lead changes in the first quarter. The Red Knights took the last of those 7 lead changes at 14-12, and they never looked back. They never gave that lead back to the Muhlenberg Muhls. But early on in the game, it was a bucket by Eli Hemming on a breakaway in which Nelson Malave was ahead of the pack, and rather than lay it in himself, he kissed it off the glass back for Eli Hemming, knowing that he was the trailer, and Hemming slams it in for what was a beautiful slam dunk and a great run-out play for the Mules. We're going to go now to Rich Garcella, who is now caught up in the hallway with Rick Perez. Rich, take it away.
We're here with Reading High coach Rick Perez and Reading High senior Wesley Rosario after the Red Knights' exciting win over the Mules. We'll start with Wesley, who scored 26 points. Wesley, what was it that inspired you guys tonight? Was it the memory of the loss to them in December, or what was it?
I think it was the disrespectful they did to us in December in our house, and it was a lot of things in social media, and we come with that, and that was in the beginning of the season. Now we got more mature, and we come out here to play.
How important was the defense, the team defense tonight?
It was a lot important because we just gotta take the best man out of the court, and I think we did a great job with that.
What has this team? How would you describe the way this team has been playing the last month or so?
Amazing. I don't got words for this team, but I think this is one of the best teams I've been playing in very high school.
Now you get a chance to play the first place Berks Catholic Saints on Tuesday. You beat them at your place. What do you expect from the Saints?
Better beat them again. That's my thing. We better work, and we better work with my team. I just got to lock in with my team, and then we better go hoop.
Wesley, thanks. We'll see you on Tuesday. Congratulations on the win. I'm going to talk to Coach Perez. Rick, what was it, though, about the effort tonight from the get-go? It seemed like you guys, the intensity was right from the get-go, and there were maybe a minute or so, there were some lulls, but really from start to finish, the effort was there.
Yeah, the effort was there. I think the focus was there, and it doesn't. Of course, playing Muhlenberg, adds a little bit of fuel to the fire. But listen, we know the stretch that we're coming up on right now. You got 3 league games. We have some goals, and we got 3 away games. So this was very important for us. This was a need for us, and they came out and played like it was a need. So I'm very proud of them. They had poise. Unfortunately, and I want to give a major shout out to the Muhlenberg community and the Reading community for coming together and giving our young men an experience of a lifetime. And, I apologize that, things went down on that way. I love both men on both sides of the court there. That should never happen. Our war happens in those lines, and we'll get better and we'll grow. But what that really showed was 2 teams that want to win, and that's important.
How important was this guy tonight with 26 points? And really, I thought not only on the offensive end, but on the defensive end as well.
Yeah, well, first of all, let me get some for him. Right. So I love this young man. I called him, upon my return here, and I said, there's only one person who can really move a crowd and move a community like Wesley can. He inspires people the way his play, he's fiery, he's animated, and, that brings a lot of people. They want to see that. He brings hope, and Wesley has been really patient in learning what I want from him. He's an all-state guard, and he can really dominate the ball, but I want him to give a little bit more diversity to his game, and he showed that here. He was in the post, he was screening, he came off the pick and pop, hitting a 3, dishing. So, this young man has the trust in me like I have in him, and we're going to be all right.
It looks like Cameron Jones learned a few things about passing from Wesley, made some incredible assists, especially in the first half. How would he handle the ball most of the night when Wesley wasn't? And I was just wondering what your thoughts on Cameron was.
Oh, my God. Brown, we love him. Brown will go to war for anything. He loves this program. His play here represents a lot more than just Reading basketball. He is fully invested, and he wants to win. He's a tireless worker, so very proud of him. Him and Wesley did a great job handling things, during the game, and we're just blessed to come out of here, and it's a league win. That's what it is. Nothing more, nothing less, and we got to move on.
Rick, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Wesley, thank you. Congratulations on the victory. We'll see you guys Tuesday. Back upstairs to Bob.
All right, thank you. Great job, Rich Garcella. Great job by Maggie May Crawl and Trey Smith down on the floor, getting all of that organized through the chaos. We thank Coach Perez and Wesley Rosario for spending some time with us. Let's go through the numbers individually in this one. Eli Hemmings ends up leading the way for the Mules with 23 points. 9th time this season he's been in double figures and very close to his season high. He had a career high of 30 earlier this season against Hempfield. His great junior season continues at 21 of those 23 for Hemmings coming in the second half. Nelson Malave also in double figures with 11, 8 points each for Justin Armstrong and Michael Miller. Unfortunately for Michael Miller, great start to this ball game, but the foul trouble ultimately kept him on the bench and ultimately took him to the bench as he fouled out in the third quarter. Off the bench tonight, Jaden Perez had 3 threes for the Mules. He ends up with 9, 4 each for Ryan Hutchinson and Josh Miller, and 2 for Jeffrey Collado, and the Mules total of 68. For the Red Knights, our Reading Fighting Phil's player of the game was Wesley Rosario with 26 points. Justin DeCastro finished with 21, 8 for Javon Merriweather, all of them coming in the first half, 6 for Michael Portalatin, and 9 for Jameer Jacobs, 2 for Tyjir Slaughter, and 1 for Cameron Jones, and the Red Knights total of 74. Reading High ends up 17 for 24 from the foul line in the fourth quarter, 26 for 38 from the foul line on the night in what was obviously a physical basketball game. And the Red Knights got it done when they needed it to, put it away in the fourth quarter. Rich, I'll go back to you for final thoughts as we get back up in the booth. We said it at the beginning. These two teams, their battle cry is 32 minutes of basketball. And as you said it, with 20 seconds to go, they're still going after it 32 minutes, and unfortunately a little bit after the whistle as well. But that's kind of a byproduct of the way they play. But this is just a big win for an ever-improving Reading High basketball team.
Yeah, it's a young team that started slowly. They were 3-3. They're now 10-2 since then. They solidified their position in both the Berks County and District 3 Class 6A playoffs. And now they have a chance, really, to tie for the lead when they go to Wolf Gymnasium Tuesday and take on the Berks Catholic Saints. And they beat the Saints, handed the Saints their only league loss in late December at the Geico Complex. And, I expect another fierce battle Tuesday night.
So the Mules fall to 14-4, now 7-2 in Division I. They're at Twin Valley on Tuesday night. Reading High is now 13-5. They improved to 7-2 and tied with Muhlenberg in second place in Division I. The Red Knights, as we just got done telling you, next up a trip to Berks Catholic to play the Saints on Tuesday night. We'll have that one for you here at WEU. Again, here's the plan for next week. We hope it happens. We're very doubtful, but we'll hope it happens. Governor Mifflin Wilson girls on Monday night in West Lawn. Reading High at Berks Catholic on Tuesday. And then Friday night back to Wilson for Reading High at Wilson. A lot of basketball left to be played here on WEU. We'll have it all for you on the radio and our free video coverage as well on our YouTube channel. That's 8:30 WEU Sports. Unfortunately, no scoreboard show tonight because of the length of tonight's game. The guys will be back at it on Monday or Tuesday, whenever we have basketball for you next year at WEU. That's going to do it for our coverage. Thanks to Tim Moyer, the athletic director here at Muhlenberg High School. Sean Tansky's been our technical director. Matt Knob back at the WEU studios. Thanks to them all. For Rich Garcella, my name is Bob McCool. One more time, it's Reading Red Knights over the Muhlenberg Muhls by a final score of 74-68. Thanks for listening and watching high school basketball on WEU. We'll talk to you with more next week.
You've been listening to High School Basketball on 830 WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond. High School Basketball on WEEU is brought to you by
Savage Auto Group, RE/MAX Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis, Keith HVAC, Redner's Warehouse Markets, Diefenbach Snacks, Habitat for Humanity Restore, Chick-fil-A, UECU, Overhead Door of Reading, Spots Insurance, Kuhn Funeral Home, Susan McFadden of Keller Williams Platinum Realty, Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf, Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society, Brad Cole